beer ads. So many just different beer ads though. That just.
Yeah.
But I was like the Carlton Drought one's like, it's a big ad. It's so bloody big. It's a big ad.
I miss that ad.
Like where's the ads? Like we don't have ads like that anymore. Like it's like the ads used to be like really nonsensical and epic and crazy, like the icebreaker ads as well.
Still, but not very many. Are
Like-
we actually live right now? Are we? Is that why you're
Yeah.
saying that? Nice. I was just checking. I'm like,
Well,
anything bad?
oh, you're not gonna say anything bad. You could if you wanted to, but it's a big ad. It's a blog.
We should open that with that just before the episode starts. We'll put that big ad there.
I might actually do that for the video only. But anyway, we got our drinks. But you know what else we got? We've got another fine episode of the Beardy Bro podcast. Beardy Bro podcast.
You come out.
I know. You were mouthing it, and I was like, oh goddamn! I'm just saying it so nice and calm this time. So I was like, okay, I better do it. So what's up, beards and beardettes? Welcome back. Back with another fine episode. Another week down, another week done. On for the next week. This week's next week's.
This week's next week coming at you last
You sound like you just farted.
Huh?
You sound like you farted when you did that. Yeah, it sounded like a good old rip. I just.
Replicate it. Wouldn't even
No,
pick
the
up.
one off sound. It came through on the podcast perfectly fine.
Yeah, like your one.
That was a little ripper. That was great. That was. Oh, what a week! It's been another quiet week to say. Like there hasn't been much in the way of news. We've had stuff come out this week. We've had the release of Space Jam that's come out. We've had Black Widow drop. So Space Jam, Black Widow dropped. I think it was last week though. Or no, we got. I know it was the other couple of weeks we had. I forgot Fast and Furious came out as well. That was a couple of weeks back.
That's good. I heard good
Yeah,
things.
well, we've had a lot of memes lingering of those lately. If you've seen those memes going around,
No.
I've shared a couple of those. The family memes. It's just been like it's about family. There's one I shared.
Always Vin Diesel, like you
Yeah.
see all the eyes. It's like Vin Diesel family. It's like,
Yeah, there's one I shared last night, which was the It was a mate sent it to me. It's the KFC family feast box. And it just has Vin Diesel in the photo. Someone photoshopped Vin Diesel into the photo, so it's like the family feast. Because it's the family. It's like, oh, that's great. But it's usually the ones where it's like he's always got the shotgun. He's just like, it's for family, and he's got like the shotgun. He's like pointing it. It's just like,
crazy how they come up with some of these. It's like I'd never even thought of it. Like,
well, there was one I shared as well. It was the
why has not been a thing? It's been a series for like near 20 years.
Yeah, I know, and now it's a big meme. I don't know, unless there must be a lot of family references in this, because apparently it's about family.
Yeah.
Like there was that one where it's like the whole set.
Are, though, like,
Well, that's exactly it. But like, there was this one meme which was funny. That was like the whole plot twist and the whole thing where Vin Diesel's all about family. They had the whole, it's about family first. Then why the fuck did he turn his back on his brother? If he's all about family, why did he turn his back on his?
Isn't he? So
I don't know, but like you don't turn on family. That's the whole metaphor. It's like family,
he's just trying to take over the world or something. So like he's just like
He turned on his brother forever ago. So I don't know, but
don't know.
there was one I shared today.
I guess he's not direct family then, maybe.
No, it's meant to be his actual brother. So in the movie,
Really,
I know
like,
John Cena and Vin Diesel are brothers within this.
I don't
so-
know how that works.
I don't know.
Like John Cena. The Rock is a better fit than John Cena,
Yeah,
but then he was in Fast Five and it's not related. So I was like, dude,
But,
anyone else than John Cena.
yeah. But no, there was one meme I shared which was pretty funny. It was why it was why is reverse cowgirl illegal in Alabama? And it had a photo of Vin Diesel going, "You never turn your back on family."
Oh, I've seen that.
yeah. You want to see me share it? I was like, "That's great." I'm like, "That's fucking gold."
Is that one with the chicks just like that?
Yeah, facing the other way. It's like, why is reverse cowgirl like illegal in Alabama?
dear.
It's like you never turn your back on. I'm like, these are getting ridiculous. It's come and gone. Like I'm coming on the back end of this meme trend, and it's just like
Yeah,
I
I've
kind
seen
of get where it's
for
coming
weeks,
from,
I
but
just-
like it's kind of like it's. But that's the thing, though. It's kind of like died. It was there. They were very mediocre. It's come down, but now it's kind of like coming back with like because they've gotten even better now. Like it's evolved because it was like kind of they were funny, but they weren't like
It
amazing
was
funny. They were very
basic.
basic, yeah. And that's just done this full fucking, oh, you think I'm dead? Guess what? I'm not dead. I'm coming back. And they've just been like high tier now. They've been like actually funny, and it's just like, oh my god, like it's hilarious.
It is
so
what it is. I mean, we have to watch it to get why they're making.
I feel like that's why. Yeah, there's something to do in the movie. There must be
something to do with the movie, as you said. Like, I guess he says it a lot in there.
Must be. That's why it's trending. Like, there's got to be a reason why people. That's the only reason it triggers people to make memes. Because, like, why didn't they make it before? Exactly. Why did they never do it before? Like, why now?
Like, he said it a lot back in the day.
Exactly. So
he said it a lot in a lot of the movies. He's always at least once every movie. It's always so slow to the family. Like,
Fast is fair.
What's that so slow?
Fast family.
The Fast family. That's very slow.
Fast equals Fast family equals Furious family. I don't know.
Fast equals Furious. That could be the.
There was another meme. Well, another one which was Fast equals Furious, family equals family. It's just like, what?
Yeah, that one's a bit stupid.
I was like, what the fuck are these memes? That's what I mean. They're pretty like, what? And now it's just like a whole different level. After he's like died, the meme died and been resurrected. It's just like, oh, and they've just been like,
you know that Drake one or something is in the orange shirt going, nah.
Yeah.
I've seen the one who's like something in family. He's like, yeah. Like,
oh god.
I thought what it was, but the first one just like, I mean, I see him everywhere though. Like, on every
oh, there's a lot
media.
now. There was like a binge of it. There was like I didn't even know it had happened.
It's like the biggest meme ever now. Like this,
the current
family,
one.
Like
it's the main current meme. Yeah.
it's everywhere.
Oh.
I've not seen memes like that in years. Like people talk about memes, I don't see them unless I look for them. Like this, I'm just looking.
It's just you can't look, you can't avoid it. Like it's there, like it's.
Oh.
So.
It's like, bam, Vin Diesel is everywhere.
Vin Diesel is everywhere. I can't remember.
I'm surprised that's still. I think that's the last movie, isn't it?
No, there's still more. There's still no more. I think.
No offense, kind of over it.
I mean,
it's
just
good to watch them. Like
I know we've got other movies like Star. Like it's getting on the point where I think this may be like the longest. This will be the longest running like one line movie because like you've got Marvel, which is like something, but they're like different movies. They're like the Marvel.
There are only trilogies really in Marvel.
Yeah, but like this is like the full Fast franchise. Like it's a full series.
9 movies.
Like
continuous.
that's some.
Short be in there, I guess.
It's a spin-off, but it does fit in there. But still, so you've got 10 at least within the
second one of that.
But alone, you've got 9 alone Fast and Furious movies. Like, where do you go with the names?
I actually want to Google that because I heard that was being filmed like 2 years ago. Or a year ago, I heard that was being filmed. Like in 2019 in lockdown or something. 2020?
Oh, so the boys couldn't make it. I was going to say, the boys couldn't make it, by the way. Juddy replied with, I told him I was going to call him out in the episode, so I made a joke about it, but he goes, I can't, I'm about to slide in a meat tent. And I was like, oh, this boy's, I think, about to get himself some, so I'm like, so I made back, so I'm going to leave her, and I'm like,
you
so I'm like,
you kept going on about
yeah, so I said to him, oh, alright, that's fine, I'll call you out in the pod. I said to him, I'll let him know. I said, Juddy isn't here right now, he's pitched camp in a meat tent. That's the message I replied and just cracked up laughing.
Oh, okay. So apparently, Hobbs and Shaw 2 is next year. After Fast 9, then that. That's pretty fucking cool, because Hobbs and Shaw was probably the best Fast and Furious movie in age.
One of the, well, yeah, like, I wouldn't be surprised we're getting a second one of that.
It had nothing to do about cars.
It was straight up action. It was just basically like spy action espionage. Like it was proper.
What should have been what Fast Furious should have been, but they focus on the cars, but it's unrealistic.
Well, that's where it was originally. Like it originally was a car film with the whole cop scene thing, and then went from to being cars, and then to being like the whole action side of things, and like
because it was all Hobbs, and he was like, "Fuck, take him down."
It went all weird. Well, like, you look at the originally, like the first movie, it was just about cars, and it was just about
Cars and Family.
Yeah, Cars and Family. It was family and the whole heist and everything, and
the heist was 5.
Well, they had the original first movie Promised Women. They had the whole heist where they stole the car and everything. It was a heist, basically.
Yeah, heist. It was more of a.
They jacked them.
Yeah.
But still kind of a heist to the sense.
How it's evolved. It's not the same thing because that would have got
very different. Yeah, it's very different. It's evolved over each film.
Hobbs and Shaw, like that's
like the one that I think
than these recent fast movies.
I was gonna say, coming back to it, I think the third one, Tokyo Drift, was more of a racing film than what the other first two were, because it was basically straight on with just racing cars.
That was just them drifting like that. That's Tokyo. Like the first one had a lot of. That wasn't really.
It had the street racing and stuff in it, but it didn't have much in it. But then that's something you go back to the third one. Actually, they had a lot more.
The first one did.
I feel like the third one had a lot more.
A few people died in cars in the first one, like in the actual movie, or in the second.
Both.
I don't know, but there was a lot of racing.
There was a lot.
But I'm just excited for Hobbs and Shaw 2. Like fuck Fast.
Yeah. Well, they started going with that whole super soldier thing and everything, and I was like, what the fuck? Like they had. Yeah,
but Hobbs and Shaw is more believable than Fast Furious 8.
Well, like with the 9 where we saw the trailer where the car picked them up and threw them away, and they're like, hold on, and he grabbed onto the thing and like whiplash the fucking car off the cliff, and they're like, hold on, don't hook the fucking car on the rope, like yeah, and they're like flying, like what, fuck off, like. Come on, like I can understand, like a magnetized flying in, picking that up, but then the fucking like we're gonna hook it on and get the somehow magically able to get it twisted around the car and hold the weight of the car as it swung around the mountain, like that was the.
The short come in. It's all. I mean, yeah. That. Are you talking about the fucking plane of the car?
Yeah, in Fast 9, like in the trailer.
Oh, are you talking about the Hobbs and Shaw where you had pulled the helicopter, plane down with the car?
That was funny, but do you remember that in Fast 9 where they're on the mountain edge, they're racing after this, and then like the fucking plane flies in and grabs him and magnetizes him, and they fly off with the thing, they hook him up and pick him up.
Trust me. It's like no.
And then he just like fucking and just says, trust me, we got family. And just fucking grabs just launches it, hooks onto the rope, and just whips it around the mountain. Like where are you gonna go?
Whips under his guard or something. I don't fucking.
But I mean, we did have that other stupid moment in one of the other ones where they were in the tower, if you remember, and they drove through the glass and went from one building to the other building.
That was 6, wasn't it?
Yeah, like they already started going mental with it anyway. It's like, we're gonna get the velocity of the car, smash through this thick glass.
In Dubai, they went from the top down the hair. It's
like the glass alone is strong glass. It's not meant to be broken because it felt like the way they smashed through that.
Like car, like coming like that, like coming.
But they're only in that small space to like drive off. Like if that velocity, if that's gonna be the case. Like, what if there was like a bird could have broken it, I felt like. Or if someone was throwing a ball in the room, they could have broken it.
Fucking very high-powered car, like, that would have got speed just like that.
Oh, it was just... But I feel like at the same time, that car could have crumpled.
It's
like
a movie, like, who cares? Oh. When you're watching it, it's good to watch.
But that scene
when
of them...
think about it, it's like...
I was like, that scene...
So many holes, like, how did that happen?
Well, I was going to say, that scene reminds me of where they jumped from with the car through the building to one building to the other building. It's reminded me of The Rock when he was in Skyscraper, jumping from the freaking crane to the building with that bung leg. Like, what the fuck?
You could do that, though, like...
Oh, it's
adrenaline, you could, like...
No, not exactly, because there was science behind that, and it never worked with the angle.
Oh, the bung leg. I mean, if you had 2 normal legs, you would.
Yeah, there was a bit more of a chance, but having him...
But he just hung there by that leg, it's like... That would have snapped. That would have came off.
It was the whole suspense thing, but like they just do these
so good though.
Nonsense for like movies. But
that's how it has. If you have movies that are realistic,
it gets boring.
It takes out the fun.
It's meant to. That's exactly it. They're meant to have fun. Oh, that's what I was jumping up.
The top, like up to a 12.
That's what I was meant. I was going to say that was dropping up before we were talking before about Disney Plus. So we've got as we've seen the other movies out. So we've got like I say, we've got movies in cinemas. We've got like Black Widow at the cinemas. We'll talk into that in a bit. Space Jam's in cinemas. But Disney Plus is at the moment. There's still Cruella's still up on Disney Plus Premium Access. There's
I heard that
Black Widow.
Very bad. Like
I've heard. Well, apparently a lot of people weren't too sure how the movie was going to be. It's like you do know this is Cruella, right? Like you've seen 101 Dalmatians. Cruella like wore animal fur coats as coats, like skins as coats. Like she's fucked up. Like. It's not meant to be lighthearted. And apparently a lot of people were, like, shocked and distraught because they took their kids to go to the movie. And it's just, like, it ended up being really dark. It's like, well, no, shit, have you not seen 101 Dalmatians? Like, the premise of what she was, like, she skinned animals. Like,
Disney movies are not for kids, really.
Not always for kids, no. But, like, if you're sticking to the law, like, that movie, like, it's very messed up when you watch 101 because she tries to hunt down every single one of those puppies. Alone puppies, and she wants to skin them and, like, wear them as a coat, like... Do people not see these things? Like
the animation of Lion King, that's kid friendly. The live action is not because it looks like a real lion does and shit like.
But like the whole
You know,
sequence
they
though,
can see that.
but the whole sequence though, where he pushed his pushed Mufasa off the cliff, like he just pushed him into his dome, like that's messed up. Like
Bye.
that not fully traumatized me, but I remember that scene as a kid forever the rest of my life. Like that lives with you.
And then you hear Jeremy Irons, "Long live the king."
Like it's and that doesn't mean doing that that live action style was just like made that scene so much more like it didn't have the full atmosphere like the cartoon does, but they still near on replicated to 100%.
Needed it for that, otherwise it wouldn't have made.
But it's still more because there's a sense of like in the cartoon, him clawing into his paws wasn't as gruesome feeling. Because it was cartoony, and then because he dug his claws, and then he ripped them up and lets them go, like he ripped them off the ground. Like there was no blood, but then there was more traumatizing because he grabbed and then threw him, like that kind of more of the sense he threw him, and then he fell down, and he got trampled.
More like if
that felt traumatizing.
Like ripping the fingers up and just letting go.
But in the sense, yeah. But in the movie, like the live action felt more because you actually see this. Like there wasn't much blood, but it was more a sense because it looks more real. You know how tigers act, or not tigers, lions. Still same sense. They're still cats. They still
Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Fuck's sake.
But like how lions do, but like even though it wasn't much blood, but even they had the mannerism right and just how they actually had it claw in because it looked real. It felt like oh my god because it was looked real. Like they did such a good job with the detail and the whole thing and the whole same sequence where you just claw and ripped them off and that was still they added extra like depth differently. Like it was still there.
Why do they nail stuff like the Lion King live action but fail with Mulan and
Lady and the Tramp
stuff like that?
Lady and the Tramp was horrendous.
But why do they fail them? But like Jungle Book, Lion King, and all that go well. But like, how'd they get them so perfect? But then other ones just
I didn't get it because Mulan they cut out all the best parts that make sense for Mulan's arc story.
That's just
and then Lady and the Tramp was the same thing.
They kept the same movie. They just changed bits.
They just changed it to pace it. They changed it to pace it so it makes sense, but also in the sense of it being a live action, what would work for a live action? Same as Jungle Book.
They changed like most of them lines in the Lion King. I found like
there's a lot of scenes missing.
I was trying to like remember it from way back when, and it's like they've changed that line. Then the next line they've changed it. They've moved one line up, one line back.
But it blends right, but they do it to pace it appropriately with the conversation of how they've had to recut the scene because they're not exactly 100% one for one.
Nah.
Same as Jungle Book. Like, there are some scenes that are missing, but it's because it's appropriate for its pacing to work. Yeah. But then you've got Mulan, which cut out
some of the
like they cut
musical stuff as well.
But the musical stuff like Mulan though, that was like even if it wasn't musical, was an actual dialogue. Like they cut that whole sequence out, which is actually a key part to the story. Like that was the worst part for Mulan. Like I haven't seen it, but I've heard that there's actual parts that make sense for
seen it.
No, but I've
see if they had the.
I do want to watch it, but I've spoken to people that have watched it.
If they got the little angry guy, the big fat man in it, and everything like that kind of thing.
I think they are in it, but they're not the same. They're not like noticeably they're not noticeably like tall and fat, and that kind of thing. They're not noticeably that, but you can.
Personalities though, like the dude loved his food, like he was. Big, like he loved his food. He
from what
his wife and cooking him pork and chicken. And...
Well, like from one of the stuff I've seen, there's no real disguising as Mulan being like. From what I heard, there's not much of the whole Mulan hiding as being a male. Which was majority of the film, which she hid as a male and was revealed as being a female.
Like
that's majority. Like a majority of apparently the film is she primarily stays as a female. And she's just doing what she does as a female. Like, that's not how the point of the premise was. She's meant to be undercover because during those times, female soldiers in that category were not allowed. Like, it wasn't a thing. It was not allowed. Don't change history, which this is Mulan was kind of based, which is technically based on his history.
How'd you get in
I don't even know.
Then?
That's what I mean. There's a lot of stuff that's very questionable. So
because in the old Disney movie, she literally tied her hair back up into a thing in the helmet and everything. Like she had to hide. Like
there is some of that, but
she even wore the freaking strap around to hide breasts. And
there is some. Well, even then, like
the full length to hide herself.
That's the thing too. The female they grabbed this time around, they cut the corners with that because I think she doesn't really end up having much of breasts really, of the chest. So
she was feels like a woman in the cartoon. Like she was
like she actually had to hide herself. That was the emphasis on the thing. I think that too being the cartoon, they had to throw that emphasis, so they gave her a womanly figure, so it was more noticeable when they had to hide it that it was to portray the difference that okay, this is female. And
live action as well, like.
But that's still the same trope. Like that's the thing. Even though you noticeably tell, like you noticeably know that this is a woman, they still should have done that to show. Okay, and I think they do. I think they do from what I think from what it was. I don't want to get it
clearly
misconstrued,
but she's her. She's got long fucking ass hair swinging around everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't. Yeah, doesn't accurately portray the cartoon.
Have the Huns in there at least. Like
apparently, as like a Japanese martial arts film, it's apparently good for that. But as Mulan,
like the big fight and shit.
Apparently, there's something to do with that in it. Should be still in it. But there's a lot of mythical shit that goes on in it as well now. But then they took out the dragon. There's no Mushu.
All the Huns, like you watch the old, there's no Mushu.
But Mushu's a big part of it as well. Like he was a big part of it.
Mushu's the one who kept her in line.
Like that's the thing. Like it's like having Hercules and then not having fucking
Phil.
Yeah, Phil. Like imagine having Hercules and not having Phil. Like
I'm hoping they do a live action Hercules.
Well, they're gonna eventually.
They don't.
They're eventually gonna do it, but it would have to be very well done.
They already have.
There was a different Hercules.
Remember?
They've always done Hercules. Yeah, not Disney Hercules.
That was a good movie though, the Rock one.
But
they did all the stuff that the cartoon one did.
But what I was gonna say, they it's a general story. No, it's not a Disney movie.
I didn't think it was because it was too violent.
Yeah, it's way too gory and violent. But no, that's just the general story of Hercules. That's why it's very similar. Because that's just the general Hercules story. Like that's the general tale of Hercules and the Titans and everything like that.
Dracules. What?
Hercules.
Dracules.
But no, what I was going to say about Disney Plus is they also got Jungle Cruise coming to Disney Plus eventually as well. I saw it up on their listing.
That's this month, isn't it?
Yeah, it's soon. And I was like, that'd be cool. But like, that's why I was getting to the point before where I was saying before is, it's annoying that they charge I think it's $34.99 per film for premium access. Premium access.
2 movies a night, like $80.
They should just do premium access for that month of $34.99, and you can watch each one of the films on premium access.
Shit,
like pay that little bit extra, but then you get access to.
You can watch.
Early access.
Can watch it,
and not just one movie, because it kind of feels like annoying that's just one movie. Like I know you want to try and make your money back, but like if it's a home service, allow people to watch each one once at least. So then if you've got one month where it's,
you make more if you have like a 15, or it's not $15 a month, but people will subscribe to things.
Well, if you have, or even if you had
to buy a $40 movie to watch once or twice, and that's it.
That's exactly it. Like I want to watch those movies, but I'm not paying.
Watch it, though?
I think it's just the once. So
you're paying. Just think, if your partner's away somewhere and they can't watch it when you brought it, you've got to buy it again. Just to...
It's like going to the cinemas alone, but it's like. Yeah, but like when but the thing is, like people go, it's just they'll try to justify the price.
Though.
Well, it's like if you were to have two people to go to cinemas.
Cheap, really.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you were to go 2 people to the cinemas, it'd be like roughly say $30. Okay, yeah, but you're paying for the experience of being at someone else's place, looking at a giant screen. It's the whole surround sound. You know what I mean? At home, you don't want to be paying
to go to a cinema.
Exactly.
Just put it that way. It's best to go for a comfy fucking recliners in whatever one you go to. You get a recliner. You get a.
You want to pay that. You want to pay that because
this massive ass fucking 100-inch screen or more than that. Like this massive fucking screen. You got your full surround sound. You pay for that. Like the movie's like $5.
If it was $15, like for premium access for one movie, I'd feel a little bit more inclined. No. I'd feel personally a little bit more inclined, but not $35.
You make sure your family's there and then you buy it.
Like you would have to have, if you're going to watch it, like I've got a big screen, like if I was going to do it, I'll say, hey, everyone come over, I'll buy this, and then you have like
Disney
6 people.
The ball because just you think Hulu, Prime, Netflix, their movies are day one and done there. Like the Tomorrow War, that was straight on the Prime. And
like that's the only time I'd do it where it was like, okay, if everyone's going to come over, we're going to order pizza, I'll buy, I'll pay the $35, we'll hire out, Black Widow, and we'll all sit around the couch and we'll watch it. Like, that's the only thing, like, you'd make it an event because you want, if you're at home watching, you want to make the experience feel like an experience. Because that's a lot of money to pay, like, just for like, oh, I'm gonna watch this. Like, I'm paying that money, like, that's why I go to the cinemas. People go, oh, why do you spend that much cinemas? Because it's an experience. You're going out, you're with your friends.
People not anymore. That. It's like $13 to go to watch a movie. Just there for a movie, it's $13.
Well, there's one cinema I've been to which cost me like $20 for a ticket.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, And that was before I
That's
bought
why
snacks.
you go on certain days as well.
It was expensive.
Like a Tuesday or Wednesday. It's
that's why I'm very
half
particular
off
with the
or
cinemas I go to.
something, so. Like I prefer to spend that $40, not to watch it there, to buy it to own for a damn collection. Watch it whenever, how many times I fucking want for $40.
That's exactly it.
Like,
no.
Is that coming out though? It would have to.
What's that?
A physical sale. It would have to.
Oh yeah, they'll do physical sale. They'll do the thing because they've already got me in the cinemas as well. So they're doing home for people that don't want to go out, and then they have the cinemas. And then once they've done their usual, like it'll come out, like say it comes out free October for like Black Widow comes out free October, so therefore it'll come out physically most probably November. Like they'll give it like they'll have free on the service or
the cinemas, isn't it?
Yeah, and they'll try and make the sales. But like again, I've seen sales for that where they had Mulan come out. It was at the cinemas. It left cinemas. It went to Disney Plus. It was free on Disney Plus. Really? And then basically, and then it was on Disney Plus. They tried releasing it on DVD and Blu-ray at the same time it was in Disney Plus. Sales weren't even there. After a while of it being in Disney Plus, they ended up going from physical release to being clearance physical release in the span of not even a month or even a month. It just dropped from like and then they cleared it out to like $5 or $10, and people bought it up then to a point. And yeah,
if you give it a physical, take it off the streaming because you'll make more paying the full price.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Like I was gonna say, you go to any store now, and look at physical copies of like any Disney movie or anything like that. Look at their prices now. Their DVDs are selling for at most $10.
20 for a 4K.
Barely. Maybe which is normally a $35 item for a 4K.
30 to 40.
Yeah, and they've dropped down to like really cheap. Like DVDs, there's like DVDs going for like
because they're
$5 or $10.
Keeping them up there because they can afford to drop them.
And that's trying to make the extra money.
Sellers like JB and Sanity, because a movie. Let me have a look. Because Sanity, I think, are more expensive still than.
But it's
JB.
questionable that's insane that they've just dropped the prices now on their physical copies. It's like, yeah, I can understand physical is slowly dying, but like that's one of your markets. Like,
die. That's where Peb make a lot of their fucking money.
I'm wondering why that's. Well, I'm wondering why it's because it's the cheaper option. If it's more cheaper, sometimes people to buy it.
What's a Disney movie does?
Hercules.
A new one.
No,
not an old one.
Something new in the sense of cartoon or.
No, something live action, something new.
All I can think of last, and that's I don't know if it's on DVD or I can say is Raya. That's a cartoon. That's Disney Pixar, isn't it?
I just typed in Disney and there's Milan $6.
Yeah.
Aladdin $6.
Yep.
Oh fuck me.
They go for nothing now.
That's the normal DVD though.
That's what I mean. They go for next to nothing.
Okay, let's type in Aladdin. Let's see what that is now, because that's a good movie. People loved it.
Aladdin was good. I was very hesitant at first, but that was actually not too bad in the end.
Is that how you spell Aladdin? ALADDIN. Yep, there you go. Okay, you've got the 4K for $13.99.
Yeah.
And if we go to Sanity, that's on sale. It's usually 20, as we said.
Yeah. But on the majority of the time now, they're always on sale. They don't go back to their normal price. They're like every day on special.
Okay, don't buy Sanity.
They're still trying to ask for a ridiculous price.
$30.
Yeah.
On sale right now for 2 for $50, but it's originally $30.
But so we can go through that little rant as well. We can jump from there. We'll segue across to
no offense, Sanity JB is the best thing for everything.
JB is one.
If you're in Australia, are they anywhere else? I don't know. Just support JB. They're a lot better. They're more consumer friendly.
But we were talking about this before the podcast anyway, and we both haven't seen Black Widow yet, but we've seen a lot of the reviews coming out, and even the reviews have been very questionable, where they're getting them like 7s and 8s, but then the review is basically calling it garbage anyway, which is confusing. Why say it's bad, but then give it a 7 or an 8? Like, you're giving it a good score. If it's above a 5, that's a good score. Like, anything above 5 is like, this movie's great. Like, it's funny.
No, 5's average.
5's average. That's what I'm saying. Anything above 5 is a good review. It's like, why bag it out and then give it like a 7 or an 8? Like, wouldn't you give it like a 5 or a 6 then? Like, I don't know. But we're gonna get a little bit. I know.
Yes, they compared Loki and Black Widow. They have them the same fucking score. 7.
Yeah.
Out of 10. And Loki's like at least a 9, easy.
It's just. Oh, Loki's been really good. Like, Loki's been great. Like, from what like Black Widow should have come out ages ago, and just how this movie's gone, it's getting atrocious. I might leave the little spoiler stuff towards the end of the episode, for those that want to like drip out easier, because we don't want to get people. I don't want to do another spoiler warning thing. I don't want to have to do that nonsense. I don't have to put the effort in for that. It's only Black Widow. But we'll come back to it. But anyway, we'll talk about it. But even though like alone, Black Widow's just been atrocious. Like from what they've been saying, like just the things they've done, compared to like stuff that Loki's have done, like. The balance of what Marvel has done recently with like WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and now Loki, like it's been building up with what they're doing with their TV stuff, and then here you got like Black Widow that was technically arced at the beginning of all this stuff to be released, like, and it's now at the end, so you've got this whole roller. It's just like, oh my god. Blip, blip. But we'll come back. We'll come back to Widow at the end. We'll come back to Widow at the end because there's some spoilers I want to get into. For those that may want to watch it, I don't want to spoil it for people that may have not watched it.
I mean, not many people will watch it though. That's the
otherwise we can do it. Do you want to just spoil it and just talk about some of the spoils?
We'll do it now. That way
We'll do the spoils now. So we'll give you a warning now. This is your warning. It's 34 minutes into the episode. Warning now. So if you want to skip ahead, maybe 10-15 minutes. So I don't think we'll talk that long about it. But if you just want to feel safe, you can skip ahead.
Marker in somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, I did that last time with that other episode where I put that picture up, and I don't want to make a picture. Make all that sound effect stuff, but yeah. So basically, we were doing some research into it, why it's been getting some flack and stuff. So the biggest flack of all for the movie is there's a lot of weird pacing and stuff like that, but the biggest flack is Taskmaster. Apparently, a lot of it at the end of the day is Taskmaster's narrative. The whole basis, because that's the primary villain of the episode, is Taskmaster. Just everything they've done has just been wrong. So as we know, Taskmaster has always been a male type. Understandably, we've seen like Falcon and the Winter Soldier where they had a male type and they've gender bent and made it a female. Understandable, that's completely fine because they're still sticking to the character's main narrative. They haven't changed the character in the sense it's just gone from male to female. That's all they've done. They appropriately and kept it close to being still close to being a male or female name. Like they're still similar. The initials will still be the same. No changes. But the fact that Taskmaster alone, that they've just gone the sloppy route with Taskmaster and done the most, it's like this Taskmaster basically in this movie isn't even Taskmaster. Like if you look at what Taskmaster is, this is not even Taskmaster. So you did some digging as well. We're reading into it. So basically, it was the very basic plot was.
You don't have to dig much, I'll tell you.
No, so it's simple as Widow betrays someone, that person dies, that person comes back, and they're not actually dead, and they're like, oh, I'm this person. So basically, it was it someone's daughter? Someone's.
How did that go?
So basically, Black Widow ends up killing. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's basically the movie. That's what we said. It's 6 minutes done. You don't even need that. Not even 6 minutes.
How long is the movie though?
2 hours. To get to the point that it starts off where Black Widow must have done something, betrayed this person. They killed some guy's daughter.
2 hours for that.
Was it like there was someone close to him as well? Something they accidentally killed this. Either way, they accidentally killed this girl. She feels guilty or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is. I don't want to really get fully into it. But basically, she kills someone. Black Widow feels guilty for it. Feels all like she did wrong, feels guilty. That person technically didn't die, even though she thought she had died. They end up coming back disguised as Taskmaster and trying to get their revenge. Like it's a very basic film, like very, very, very like early like genre type plot twist. Like there's nothing amazing about it.
John Wick then.
Like
Say John Wick type.
John Wick.
You killed my family.
Vin Diesel shows up. It's about family.
Oh, fucking Dom Toretto turns up.
Dom Toretto, yeah. Family.
You said something about family.
John Wick takes out the mob family, and it's like it's like a different family. And Vin Diesel, it's about family, and John Wick versus Dom.
Oh, that'd be intense, wouldn't it? That'd be a good movie, actually.
Oh, that'd be fucking insane.
And then you got can't remember his name because his name's nobody. He just comes walking past. Bring it in, cunt!
Just comes down there and just punches it.
What's your name? He just starts to fight, just like, I'm gonna fuck you all up.
Well, that's exactly it. Well, that's like he's on the. I remember seeing that in the trailer. I gotta watch Nobody, but he's like in the trailer. He's like on the bus. He's on the bus, and they start. Well, he's like on the bus, and he's done. Like they give him shit or whatever it is. They just give him flack.
No,
he's like, I'm done.
Not even him.
Someone else. He's trying to stand up for him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm done with this. And then he's like, I'm done with bullies. He's just like, I'm done with bullies. That's basically yes.
I'm like, sit down, old man.
Yeah, and then he's like, action-packed madness.
You have to watch.
I really want to watch it. I really gotta watch it. I gotta get it. Watch it.
Funny thing is, I can't even say because it's kind of. I mean, it's not really a spoiler, is it? If I say about that fight.
What the bus fight scene? Oh, it's been a lot of spin in the trailer.
He fucked someone up so bad, he had to put a straw in their throat for him to breathe.
That sounds about right.
But got someone's drink, he was like straw. He's like, and then just cut a hole and just walked off.
Oh, he felt bad that he beat them up. That he's like,
he gave the bus driver the keys because he pushed the bus driver out of the door. He's like, see ya, and then just.
It's like, get out of here! I'm fighting these guys.
I mean, he got fucked up himself, but he took on 4 people.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's so good. It's made by the John Wick. The
choreography and everything.
Creator, though.
Yeah.
The writer, I think, director, something. Because it's got the same action, but it's even more. It flows better than John Wick.
Well, you gotta think though too. There's been 3 John Wick movies before this, so they've learned.
Well, there's a 4th one being filmed now, I think too.
So you can imagine the pacing, like where the pacing's gone. They've learned how to pace it now and actually do the choreography
it's all
better.
hand to hand.
John
Wick's more gunfight.
There's a lot of gunplay and knife play and axe play in that one.
And this is just mostly fist fights.
Hands on.
A little bit of bang bang.
A little bit of bang bang.
You know he's actually in it.
Yeah, we were talking about last time. We talked about it a while back on one of the other podcasts. We talked about Christopher Lloyd was in there and stuff. And
oh yeah,
yeah, we've talked about it before. We've talked about it on one of the other podcast episodes. We've done it. We've been through a bit of it before.
Fucking well, action wise, I think he fucking killed it.
But
I'm not saying what he does.
No,
but
we briefly dabbed into it before. We've gone through and talked about a few scenes without going too deep into it. But come back to Black Widow. So basically,
watch it.
Basically, though, Black Widow is pretty doo-doo, where they've taken Taskmaster and just basically written off his character. So I don't know where did she? I don't know if in the movie they explain the armor. Like, did she?
Like 2-3 years ago. So they've been sitting on that.
Yeah. But like the fact though is in the movie though, like the character model looks like it makes it look like it's a male. It looks like that broad male type, but then it's being a female. Like yeah, but like. What did she like? I want to know how she get the idea. Then, if this is a female, did she come up with the costume herself? Did she take the costume from someone? Did someone else help her with the? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel right because just a random character that's not even anything to do with Taskmaster or the Taskmaster lore, and she's just like, "Oh, I'm the Taskmaster." Like, that's not how that works.
Say herself or not?
That's what they've narrated as. I don't know. I don't even know.
Like, does she say, "I'm the Taskmaster"?
Apparently, she doesn't say much for the whole movie. So maybe she couldn't breathe, so they needed nobody to cut a hole and put a straw in. Maybe I don't know.
Taskmaster is non-stop talking.
He's a smartass. He's very arrogant.
I mean, like he's in your face, like.
But that's a strategy. He uses the talking as a distraction as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and she's mute.
Which is weird because but the thing is though, Taskmaster adapts to fighting. Like he's a really badass character. Like he adapts to anyone. Like he'll fight you and he learns that quick. He can adapt to fighting, like to any fighting style.
He pretty much blocks you to he's studying as you throw a punch. He's thinking, oh yeah, left fist. They're a righty, they're a lefty.
Like learns how you because I remember that in that Spider-Man game where you got to like mix it up. Otherwise, if you keep doing the same punches and like web shots and stuff, he learns what you're doing. And that's to have that in the game is insane.
I tried fighting him. I got killed once or twice.
Oh, well, that's the thing. Like, it's cool that in the game, like he adapts in the game. He learns and knows like the moves you do after a while. Because I wanted to test that because I knew what Taskmaster was like, and doing that in the game, and it's just like yeah, you do stuff and you see how he starts deflecting a lot of stuff. And you're like, oh god, and you got to like try different ways of going like web, punch, kick, web, and you had to change the combo up again, and then do something. And then
sometimes fly at him, and
well, that's exactly it. You definitely had to swing at him, and you had to like roll past him and hit him in the back, and he would like sometimes know you're coming, so he'd quickly turn and do something. Like it was really cool how they done that.
You have to pretty much think on the fly what you're going to do next, just so you don't repeat the same
you really got to be whimsical, not like and legit be random. So I just did all different combos because you had to. Like you couldn't do a pattern.
You had to spam the one fucking button. He'll fucking kill you.
So it made it hard, but so that's what Taskmaster's like.
It was more you had to think.
But yeah, so that was that. So it I don't know. They've done Taskmaster wrong. They've done Old Masters wrong, and I don't know why they've done that. So I don't get.
A few characters wrong though. So That's a track record.
Unless there's a cover character where we're gonna get the real taskmaster down the track. Who knows?
Like the Mandarin.
Like the Mandarin, yeah, where that was covered with that. There was a fake Mandarin, and then we're gonna get the real Mandarin. Who knows? Maybe that could be a thing that could
I think
happen.
Kingsley should have been the Mandarin. He was a cool Mandarin.
I know the plot twist would have been great if he was actually the Mandarin, though. Not like, oh, I'm an actor. That was still funny, though. That was still a funny thing. It's like, no, I'm not the man. I'm just an actor. Like that was still a funny scene. That was a great sequence. So.
What one's that in? 3, Iron Man?
Yeah.
3, 2? I haven't seen Iron Man 3, really.
So I don't know if you've ever heard of this machine. I want to segue to something else now, back to Marvel-based still. This is Loki.
Machine?
So in the latest episode of Loki, there's been a little Easter egg that a lot of people have been pointing out. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's an old arcade system called the Polybus. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's basically, it's like basically an old space shooter game. It was back in the, was it 1981 the machine existed. So, the Polybus machine...
alive then.
Huh? You weren't even alive then. It's an old arcade system. So it's a real arcade system apparently, but there's very shady rumors whether it really did exist in arcades, you know, at actual arcade shops or, you know, or if it was just it's kind of like a pop culture kind of like myth, like myth lore. Like, yeah, it's one of the things because there's a lot bit behind it, but I'll go through the story if you mostly don't know what it is. So while there's no concrete evidence it ever existed, as I'm just grabbing this highlight clip from it. Polybus was supposedly an arcade cabinet that appeared around Portland, Oregon in 1981. Many were
only in one place, so
no, it's like it was scattered around in Portland, Oregon, in different arcades.
It's around like only Portland.
So there was a few arcade places there was a few machines. So they had a few places had a few of these machines. Wasn't many, but there was a few of them around the arcade. You know. So it was I don't know. That's the whole point. It's weird behind it. This is the little bit of the lore into it. So,
Makes no sense.
So many were intrigued by this new puzzle shooter that featured a bunch of strobing effects and wild visuals. Yet those who played it would complain about some unpleasant side effects, including hallucinations, amnesia, night terrors, insomnia, and more. So it was this arcade machine where people played the game. They had these side effects like this, like amnesia, so like that, like and hallucinations. They would see things. They'd be like, and then some people talk about like they had mind wipes as well. They couldn't remember anything like from like that time of playing it or different things. And there was
real or in
that's the thing. Well, no, this is actual lore to this arcade system that actually existed in the real world. But the thing is, in Loki, this appeared in the background. There's more to it. I'll come back to why it makes sense of it being in Loki. Furthermore, there were alleged men in black that many would claim were from the CIA who would visit these arcades to collect data about those who played the game, and they would respond to the game's psychoactive effects. So, like, it's kind of very, like, a weird... Like, I know it's been... But it's been a thing... That's why it's like a pop culture myth. It's been in actual history since 1981. It's been rumoured to exist in...
Were they playing that game in one of the Men in Black movies then? Did they go around? Look at this man.
Like, it's weird, yeah, because, like, was it this Polybus experiment, if you will, only lasted about 1 month before they were removed from these arcades entirely. Since then, the arcade cabinet has never been seen again. So these arcade machines popped up. Apparently, people, apparently the rumors were these machines were used as experiments to understand, I guess possibly, this is what some rumors was, simple rumors expected was to collect data on people on why people played games, I guess, at the time. Like why people went to arcade shops. Yeah. So back then, I guess people were curious, but at the same time, there was other experiments apparently were going on because people were feeling... But you gotta think about streaming lights and stuff like that. What are you gonna say? What are you thinking?
You know how games have flashing warnings?
Yeah.
Are we getting neuralized every time we play a game?
Well, maybe that thing. Are they implement? Well, that's the thing. Was the game not just?
Is that why we can't remember jack shit when we play a game? It's like, what just happened?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, was this game like? That's what I mean. Was it more than just that? Like, was it like? Were the people experiencing like epilepsy effects? Like, that's why they had hallucinations and like amnesia and like was that like a side effect to maybe like epilepsy possibly, or was it because they're in these flashing lights and stuff? Was there more subliminal content that they could send in through visual lighting that was sending data into the brain, like to manipulate. You know, because there are these theories of like manipulation,
brainwashing kind of thing.
Yeah, like what's that going on? Like there was a lot of these rumors. That's why it's weird that the machines existed and then stopped existing after a month.
Only a month though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Was it a test? Was it were the machines removed because of these machines causing problems to people? Like no one knows.
I played a game and finished it and went, what the fuck just happened? I don't remember that game at all.
That's exactly it. So it's weird.
No, it's just my memory.
But that's why the little Easter egg in Loki. So everything being with Loki is it's the TVA, and the TVA basically they remove things that shouldn't exist, things that aren't right, that shouldn't fit in the timeline. Whether it's
exist, really,
hey,
Loki shouldn't even exist.
Well, that's exactly the point. So that's why he's a variant. There's many variants of Loki. Like that's why they get erased, like
in the battle was meant to be
pruned. They get pruned. So there's a lot that goes on with that too with the latest episode, which I post about on Facebook with my theory that's kind of come correct.
If Odin wasn't there, if Odin didn't find him, he would have been dead.
Well, that's exactly it. So there's different things, but Loki was meant to be found. Like that's the whole point of why he's there, because he was meant to be found. He was meant to go to where he was.
If Odin didn't find him, he would have just
never been the same. Well, that's why there would be therefore to the sense of there would be a universe that variant because Loki was never found. That variant of Loki would have been collected by the TVA because he would have been technically a frost giant only version of Loki. He was never found by Odin, so therefore that version would have been taken and pruned, and then that timeline would have been erased because that he was meant to be found. Like it's crazy to think all the stuff they do. So that's why it's kind of funny that they had in the background a Pobius machine, where the sense that they're kind of almost real world playing, where the machine, how it existed, because it was only existed for a month. They're kind of making that joke with real world, where the machine disappeared because the TVA took it, they erased it from the timeline kind of thing. So. Yeah, they're kind of blending it in, so they've erased it from the timeline because it was a cursed machine or something. I don't know. So, but it's kind of funny it's like a funny little Easter egg that they've done in the episode. So you see it in the background playing, going off in the background. And it's kind of just chilling in there. It's kind of a cool little scene. There's a few different Lokis. There's a comic book Loki in this. This latest episode has so many different Lokis. I
can't believe I heard a crocodile Loki.
Yeah. He bites off a hand as well.
Did you tell me that, or did someone else say it?
No, I did say that. I did say there's a crocodile Loki in the episode. They got pop vinyls out, so they've already.
What the fuck?
They've already spoiled. It's in the latest episode. If you've ever, they've even also announced the pop vinyl. So there's a few pops coming out of the Loki. So there's President Loki pop vinyl. There's Kid Loki pop vinyl. There's classic Loki pop vinyl, and then there's a crocodile Loki. It's funny too because in the episode there's child Loki. So a reason why child Loki got pruned and sent off to the TVA was when he was a child he actually killed Thor as a child. So that variant had to be deleted.
That couldn't happen though.
Well, that's the point why they're a variant. That's why they've been deleted and taken to the TVA because that shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? That shouldn't happen.
Even physically, that couldn't happen because Thor was older. He wouldn't have if he was.
He was only a few years older. They're not too many years apart.
Yeah, but Thor would. He's a god. How did you kill him?
I don't know, but that's the point of the TVA is events that shouldn't happen. They get erased. There was actually a scene I saw in an Easter egg when they're panning through.
How he killed Thor? Or
no, he just said he just stabbed. Oh, they do briefly mention. He said he stabbed him or something. There's this whole sequence that he said he stabbed him or stuff. Yeah, yeah, it's very brutal. Here he describes it all calm about him, but yeah, he's I killed Loki. I killed Thor. I murdered my brother. I was fuck, Jesus Christ. I was that's a bit harsh. But that's why he got deleted and removed. So there's different things because there's in the episode as well. There's a lot of stuff that's relevant to the comics because in the background of one of the scenes you see
I never read a comic, so
you see well anyway in the background there's a yellow helicopter, and along the back of the thing says Thanos on the helicopter, which is kind of a little nod to the comic book because in the comic book Thanos had a helicopter that he would always fly around that was a yellow helicopter because Thanos in the comic books was a little
just travel.
It was Thanos in the comic books is a lot different. Then one time he gets arrested by the police in the comic books.
He can just oh my god, what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. There's some weird stuff that happened in the comic books that make no sense. Thanos even worked with the Avengers. There's stuff that actually happened.
They're chucking it into the things
because they're being stuff that. Well, that's the whole point of this. There's an episode because basically where they're at now.
Multiverse.
It's kind of at the end of time, which is kind of this weird void. It's in the comics anyway. Things that shouldn't exist get
What time do you
deleted.
want to end?
So everything that shouldn't exist gets deleted and it goes to this void. So basically why everything's here, that's why this world has this void that has a whole bunch of random crap because it's the void. So things that shouldn't exist get deleted and sent to the void.
Oh, eventually everything will be gone. It's just what should be there completely.
So
like,
what should be in the
nothing bad,
timeline is
just
in the timeline. What shouldn't be in the timeline is sent to this world. So, or time, selection of
No,
time.
but the main world would have nothing bad in it. It would just be
So things that go wrong.
eventually.
So with this whole stuff, so things that have gone wrong get sent to this void because they shouldn't be there. You know, they shouldn't be there. It's like this timeline needs to be the right
They're
way.
disrupting history, time. They're disrupting things.
And there was actually another. So there was the Thanos chopper, which was a funny little Easter egg. And another thing too, when they do this pan through the ground, there's a little little jar, and inside the little jar is there's a tiny Thor.
What the?
You see Mjolnir in the ground, and then the jar next to it to show the size of the jar, which is a little bit smaller than Mjolnir, and there's a little Thor trying to break out of the jar. He's like, yeah, 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 and he's passing across. It's like a small pan. It's the most quickest thing. I had to freeze frame it to see what was going on, and you see so tiny.
Hemsworth or not?
Oh, it's meant to be. You don't actually see the detail. You just know it's Thor.
It's just someone just probably doing that with a fucking blonde.
Yeah, they just pretty much put it on. But yeah, it's funny. He's sitting in the jar and he's trying to break out of the jar. It's kind of hilarious. Kind of like in the scene when you I know he broke out of that one. But it's like but either way, he's in the jar and he's trying to get out of the jar, but he can't go in it because he's underground anyway. Like the soil's keeping him in. So it was kind of funny. I was like, that's hilarious.
That would be because it wouldn't break ever. I mean, it would, but it wouldn't.
But he wouldn't be able to get out. Yeah, well, that's exactly. He wouldn't be able to get out because like unless he's able to like break it and then fly out of the ground. Like he'd have to break out of the ground. Like
wouldn't he just fly out anyway? Just because Mjolnir is that in with him? Or
no, it's beside him, but it's the full size actual Mjolnir. So yeah,
even easier.
I know it's bigger than him, but I don't know. It was kind of funny little nods to nods to comic book stuff.
Just call it like just have his hand out, just wait.
But no, they dropped a theory that I had. I'll say it anyway because it's a theory I've already had. They basically.
Dang it, Naz, you gonna spoil anything for me?
Well, it's more of a theory. It's a different variant Loki that dropped a theory that I've already had, which kind of gives us an announce where it's going to go. So we've seen through the movies where Loki always kind of pretends he's died, but he's never died. Like he plays off he's dead, and he's like, "Oh, I'm back." Or like, remember how he disguised himself as his father? Thor thought he was dead. He's like, "Oh no, he's alive." You know, he's manipulated multiple times that he looks like he's died, but he hasn't actually died. So remember at the end of Endgame where Thanos...
He did die there though.
Well, Thanos grabbed his neck and snapped his neck. Like on my theory after seeing that movie was, I reckon that was my theory was that was fake. It was a duplicate enchantment. He didn't snap his neck like he had bounced off and disappeared. Classic Loki in the movie, he actually said that in classic Loki goes, I duplicated myself, faced Thanos. Thanos snapped my duplicate clone to pretend I was dead, and I flew on a ship, escaped to a different planet, and hid there for the rest of my life.
That's cheap.
And I'm like, that's my theory. I'm like, they said my theory. I'm like, that's what I said they were to do. That's the best thing to do.
That's cheap.
So, but what this is setting up, it's kind of spoiling where it's going to go for where it's going to happen now is because classic Loki said this knowledge to current Loki. What's going to happen is Loki's going to have that knowledge, jump back to the timeline, portray that scene, and do the exact same sequence that he's going to do. That's all I can see is going to happen because
they better not redo any of the Thanos stuff because that'd be stupid.
Because I reckon they'll do it where Loki will come. That's my personal opinion from here on out. Now,
not going to be back. He's
no. So what's going to happen is that sequence of Endgame. So what will happen is that what's going to basically play off is that snap scene where Thanos snapped Loki's neck is going to happen. That still exists, but everyone else around him, like Thor, seeing it happen, will assume that he actually died. But Loki's going to come back at a later date and be like, no, I didn't actually die. It was a disguise. You know what I mean? So it's like a whole Loki trick kind of thing.
He just died.
So that's where it's going to end up playing out. So that's where I can see where it's going because
Loki's he's not indestructible.
No, but he's a survivor. He's a whole mischievous trickster, and that's the whole point of trickstery. Pretend that he died. Pretend to be the hero, which he was actually. Technically, he was the hero. He did actually sacrifice his own life to try and save everyone.
Yeah, but he did nothing.
So, and then he ended up getting his neck snapped.
It was just a little blip, just done. See ya. he did nothing.
So there's a lot of stuff to this episode, like to the series in general, that opens up Loki's eyes in general. So
Thanos was going to win unless Iron Man went. Snap.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's a lot of stuff. I don't want to get into any other spoilers. Like, it's kind of a spoiler. It's kind of stuff that I've already theorized. Like, that's, like I said, to a sense of a spoiler to a degree, which kind of wasn't because I've already mentioned it in the past. Like I said, it can go any arc. I just feel like that's where it could go. My personal theory from there is that's where it's going to go, which I feel like that's where they're hinting at, but it can go anyway.
It's like the comics. They're fucking random, like...
Well, it was like WandaVision to me. WandaVision to me was very.
They'll be over here.
Well, that's what I mean. Like the comics are that like unpredictable. Like I say, like you could have Taskmaster. Like we were reading before, we were looking up Taskmaster knowledge. Where it's like Taskmaster was playing golf. Like Thanos fucking get arrested by the LAPD.
Yeah.
Like
the movies are playing it safe. Like they're playing it casual.
So
because they have to have an audience. Comics don't really have a main audience. They have anyone just read it,
but depending on what you're buying, yeah. So we got one episode left of Loki, which is next week, so it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. So I'm keen for that. But
that's that little TV shows, is there?
I don't know. I think that's it for now, which is a bum. I should go through and watch Loki again from start to finish. So I've been watching the episode. I watch it and then I'll watch it with my dad.
I might get my 14-day preview and just watch all of it.
Yeah, wait till next week.
Yeah,
do that. Watch. Go through all of it. Watch WandaVision. Watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Watch Loki. Just take them all in.
I'm only keen for Loki.
Oh, there's a lot of story narrative though, so I'd be wanting to catch up a little bit on all the narrative.
Watch Loki first because that has a lot of old things in it. Apparently.
There's still a lot. Well, yeah, it's more relevant to be straight after, technically, after Endgame, but a lot of stuff happens before it. So it's more relevant to the start of it.
Because WandaVision and that side things.
Definitely after the Endgame storyline. Because they're definitely based after it because everything's happened. Like it's the repercussions of everything.
I'm gonna say Wonder Woman. Fuck, Black
Wonder
Widow
Woman.
is not.
So and it's interesting to see where the arc goes and how they set everything up.
How does the end of that work? Because that sets up the shows. How the fuck does that work afterwards?
What's that, Wonder Woman?
No, the fucking Black Widow. It sets up the shows.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's after the shows, like.
Oh no, I don't think it fully sets it up. There's only mainly one of the characters that appears in Black Widow is in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think that's the only thing it's closest to.
Hawkeye, wouldn't it, or someone? Bucky?
No, it's just some random side character, villain chick. She's a side character, yeah. It's played by what's her name from that chick from Seinfeld.
The movies are played safe in my opinion compared to the comics. Like they're out there. They're out there. That can be one thing can happen here. Next, it's gone. It's something else. Like.
Oh. But coming back to that Loki thing about the Polybus arcade system, someone jokingly tweeted a post going, I think the mythical Polybus arcade game is the ideal bridge between the Marvel and the Simpsons universe. Because in an episode of The Simpsons, Bart's playing at the arcade, and he's playing an arcade game, and the game right next to it is the Polybus arcade machine. I was like, oh god. So it's just kind of funny about that. So there's a few, but that.
Imagine The Simpsons are like in a future movie or episode. You have Bart just come through like, what the f...
Well, it's kind of funny. It would have been kind of funny to have if they did like a variant where, because they've got like Loki in Fortnite, and if they had like someone not play, like not Tom Hiddleston directly, but someone that looked kind of similar, play which looked like the Fortnite version, and be like, which Loki are you? And then he'd be like, you don't want to know.
As soon as Hiddleston goes, you can't replace Loki.
No, but you know what I mean though. Like have a different variant, which is because they've had different in this movie. Like they had the episode, they have other people that portray like different Lokis, but like it would have been funny.
Loki though before Hiddleston.
Hey,
no one did they?
Matt
Damon.
Damon.
I don't think. Did he?
Yeah, in Dogma, he actually played the mythical angel Loki.
What's Dogma?
Dogma.
Seen it.
There's Loki, like Loki
like
the
Marvel Loki.
No, not Marvel Loki, but that's why they made that joke.
Hiddleston's played him, so they can just easily just go, he's gone forever.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point of the variants, so see, that's the whole point of having variants.
Yeah, but if Tom Hiddleston goes and I'm done, like they can't really, they can change him, but
it won't be the same.
No one's gonna do as good as job.
Oh yeah, exactly. But that's the whole point of variants. I think that's the whole point.
Because he's got the feature set for a Loki. Like,
Yeah.
he's got that, like, the cheeky facial like the cheeky face expressions.
Yeah.
Like, no one else does.
I'll say
that.
variance is definitely the fixer point.
Are they all him though? Are they all Tom Hiddleston?
No. There's only one other that's Tom Hiddleston.
That's sad.
One Loki's a big, burly black dude. Yeah. He's like...
That's random.
And then what's that? And then the classic Loki is Gerard. What's his name? Is that Gerard? Is that old English?
Butler again?
No.
Jared Butler.
Gerard? I can't remember. His name. No, Jeffrey. Jeffrey E. What's his name? Jeffrey. What's his name? Jeffrey.
Who?
No, Jeffrey. Is it Jeffrey?
He does.
I'm trying to remember his name.
I'm trying
I'm trying to remember the actor's name now.
Jeffrey. Jethro Tull? I don't know. Don't say Jeffrey's fucking Star. Jesus. You confused me,
I'm trying to remember now. Loki. I'm trying to
Just type in Loki Jeffrey. Jeffrey. No one?
Oh, I'm trying to remember the actor's name. Oh, not even close.
Huh?
It's not even close. I'm saying Jeffrey. It's not even Jeffrey.
What is it?
It's Richard.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's nothing to do with Jared or Jeffrey.
The last name is it's Richard E. Grant.
Oh, yep.
He plays.
He's like an older Hiddleston, so it makes sense.
Yeah, he plays classic Loki.
Richard E. Grant.
So yeah, not even Jeffrey. Jeffrey. I don't even know how
If you said Richard Grant, I would have fucking knew who it was.
I'm trying to remember. I was like, what's his name again? I was like, Jeffrey. I'm like, no, it's not Jeffrey Rush. I'm like, what the fuck off my brain? It's Richard. Someone's got
Loki. Can you imagine?
Oh, that would have been great. Fucking hell. Fuck. What was I going at?
Oh, he's a variant.
But that's like that. But I feel like that's why variants really with the TVA is definitely a pinpoint fix of a lot of the continuity. Especially, it kind of makes sense. Like having this film kind of fix the point of like why like Iron Man had the change. Like it kind of justifies Iron Man's changes between actors for War Machine and stuff like that, and different other actor changes. Like
yeah, that makes sense.
Like
that was War Machine's, not Tony Stark.
No, but like because it had that one actor and they changed him with what's his name?
Yeah, that was a forced change. That had to happen.
But but realistically, it's obvious. But that kind of why variant works. Like like the whole this Loki thing kind of shows the point of like how things can change. So it kind of like fixes continuity errors where we've had like Edward Norton play the Hulk. Eric Banner.
Eric Banner played Hulk, and then Ed Norton.
Bruce Banner.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
I said Edward Norton played Eric Banner.
Bruce Banner, you twit. Eric Banner.
Oh god.
But he did play Hulk. So.
But you know what I mean. So basically, but because Edward Norton's version played Bruce Banner and played Gerard Butler. Edward starring Edward Norton playing as Gerard Butler, as Bruce Willis, as Tom Hiddleston, as Eric Banner, as Jeffrey Rush, as Robert Downey Jr., as the Shrek. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, what?
Isn't that movie 42?
Oh, but like Edward Norton's version is the same Hulk that's set in the Marvel MCU universe. Like that's the same.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the Ed Norton, but not the old Eric Banner.
No, not the Eric Banner one. That's a completely different movie. They tried to kind of emphasize that it was kind of tied in, but it wasn't because
It is. That was the first Marvel movie, pretty much.
But it's
in
yeah,
the same year, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. But that one wasn't part of the actual MCU universe where the Edward Norton one is.
Now though, it's in phase 1.
Yeah, the Edward Norton
It
one
comes
is.
after Iron Man, I think.
Yeah, the Edward
After
Norton
Iron
one's
Man?
actually in the. Well, they have Iron Man and, or no, they have Iron Man and Nick Fury in the end scene of the Hulk
Yeah. Yeah.
or the Incredible Hulk. What is it called?
But
The
why didn't they
Hulk.
keep Ed Norton though? Why did they change it to Mark Ruffalo?
No, it was a weird. That's the thing. There was a weird issue that happened, and he didn't want. Something happened. He didn't want to do it, so
Yeah,
then
but
they
they
have to
could
get
have
a
got
new
Eric
actor.
Banner. He played a good Bruce Banner. Like,
So that's again.
also he's the same age as what he would have been in
Yeah.
the Avengers and shit. Like, he's in his 50s, 40s, 50s.
Something like that.
He would have still fit.
But
He would have
that's
played Hulk.
yeah. But also that's why the TVA makes sense now. Like this is why the
Oh, no,
TVA
he didn't
variants
play
thing.
Hulk. He played Bruce Banner, not Hulk, because Hulk was CGI.
Yeah.
No, Hulk was someone else.
No, Hulk's CGI. They're all CGI.
No, but Ruffalo does the voice for.
Oh yeah. He didn't even have a voice.
He didn't. Oh, he said some words, not very much. He said that, I think.
Me Hulk.
I don't like what they did to the Hulk at Endgame though. Like, he was too human. Like,
Yeah. Oh, Smart Hulk.
yeah, he was too human. Like, he
No,
was
that's another.
interacting with
Yeah, that's
kids
another
and-
variant of Hulk. In the
No,
comic
that's
books.
the same Hulk though.
No, they were emphasizing a different variant of Hulk, because in the comic books there's like different versions of Hulk.
Bruce Banner though.
There's different variants of Hulk, so there's actually that's referred to as Smart Hulk or Scientist, or depending on which version, there's Smart Hulk or Scientist Hulk, which was basically Hulk.
Change between Hulks. What the fuck?
Every time he tries curing himself to a degree, he does different versions. There's a version where
I didn't see him cure though. He just ended.
oh no,
it,
they cut it out. They cut it out. So
he's Hulk now. Like,
so you know how with this typical version of Hulk where he gets angry, he gets green and bulks up. There's a version where he cured himself, where he thought he cured himself, which he thought was fine because when he got angry, when he got angry, he never changed, so he thought he cured himself. And there's one day he got really sad and he turned into Hulk, and he turned into Grey Hulk. He's like, oh, and he's like, what's going on here? And then there's Science Hulk where he tries to cure himself, but then his brain of Banner is still there, but it's trapped in the body of the Hulk form.
Oh, jeez.
So that's where we're at with him in Endgame.
Yeah, because he was talking and everything. Like,
he was all smart and Banner type, but
autograph Hulk. I'm like,
so that's where they got to, which is a shame that they didn't show that off to the sense. But
no, because it went from him as Bruce, and then it's like Smart Hulk. What happened? Like, they didn't tell us.
a lot
It's
of
just
weird
him
stuff.
sitting in the fucking diner, just talking to people
Yeah, casually just having a chat.
in proper clothes.
And then like when he's gonna use the thing, and he's like, "How to get the pencil?" And that was funny.
I'm just happy there's no more Avenger movies. It's good how that ended, really.
At this stage.
Well, we're talking about Young Avengers, so
But they may still
Doesn't count.
either refer to it as Young Avengers or they'll call it the Avengers, so who knows.
doesn't count. It's a whole refresh.
Yeah. Phase 3 is where this one ends, and that's why this whole Phase 4 and everything on from that is all
I'm
multiverse.
thinking Thor's last movie could be Love and Thunder, to be fair. 'Cause that's his fourth. They usually get 3.
Oh, this is the whole new... I think there might be a new set of trilogies, because I think he still wants to do it. He still wants to do movies.
Yeah, movies, but probably not Thor.
Oh, yeah.
Like 4, 5...
He's loving-
probably
he's
like
loving-
10 fucking movies as Thor.
He's loving the Hulk Thor character thing. He loves doing that. Everyone else, like...
Everyone else is gone, it's just him left.
Robert Downey's moved on, friggin'... But Robert Downey's appeared in so many movies, though. His actual... Do you think about
Robert
how many
Downey
he's had?
Jr.'s gone. Chris Evans is gone. Mark Ruffalo's probably now gone.
Oh, no, he's staying on for a little bit longer, I think. From what I remember hearing.
There's no Hulk movie, though. That's the sad part with
It's
him.
just cameos, I know. I'm hoping they'll eventually do a Hulk movie.
If he's not there...
So I don't know.
If he died, he's now fucking Smart Hulk. That's a boring movie.
Oh, he'll change again. They'll change a different variant again.
What if he... That's stupid.
Well, they've teased off in... Which one was it? I don't know which one they teased off in, but there was Abomination.
Oh, that's in the next movie, I think. No, it's in Loki, I think.
Wasn't Loki. There was something they teased it in.
I think it's in Loki.
No.
No, the next movie, which is... I can't remember it.
There's some trailer I saw
Strange?
recently. There's one of the
No,
trailers...
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that's it. Shang-Chi. There was Abomination appeared in that.
Yeah.
So...
But even then... Not an interesting villain.
So that means if he's going to show back up again, we're going to see... Because Hulk's the only one that can really take him on.
Oh, not the only one, but the main one. Because in the game you can use anyone.
Yeah.
I think I smashed him with Kamala Kong. Fucking name is Koala Kong.
Donkey Kong. There you go.
Kamala Kong must be in the movie somewhere too, or the show, or something.
Yeah.
Because she's in the comics, so.
That's bloody what's her name? What's her name again? Power Girl?
Who?
Kamala? Is that what you're talking about in the game?
Oh, the Mrs. Elastic fucking fist.
Yeah, she's Power Girl. Is it Power Girl?
I don't fucking know. No, she's got like super.
What's
that Marvel suit on?
You got no, not Captain Marvel. What's it on?
Super Girl kind of thing.
Is it?
Oh no, they have to expand that fucking Avengers game. It's so good. Well, the campaign's good. Multiplayer's trash. Still fun, but it's boring, very repetitive.
Miss Marvel, that's it.
Yeah, Miss Marvel, that's the one.
Because they do have a movie. They do have a movie of hers coming out. They've got that already casted and racked up and all that. It's going to be like a teen movie. Because they're all set in high school and stuff, kind of like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's the best Marvel stuff now. Oh,
But,
so good.
Well, that's the thing too, having like him being, because he's young still, he can do so much.
Who? Tom Holland.
Which is cool.
Not really. I think he dies in the next one, maybe. Because he's got this is his third movie. They only usually get 3.
No. Well,
Four if you're Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, remember though, this is Sony.
Yeah, they've changed the character 3 times in less than 20 years.
They're holding on to this one this time.
He might get changed out for someone else.
They're holding on to him this time. Have you seen how many movies he's done for Sony lately?
Yeah.
It's like, so they're like really milking him with their contracts. Like
bank, really.
he did, like he's done the Spider-Man. He's got the other Spider-Man coming out. He's done Uncharted. He's done that. There's like the other movie he did. Was it called?
Ghost Walking or something.
Yeah, there's like that.
Walkers.
Was there another film? Was that it? I think it was that.
That was that Ghost Walking one with that lady. I don't know who it is.
I've got some other stuff here.
Sony movie, I think.
We've got another one here. This is a bit sketchy, but at the same time, it seems kind of an interesting move for technology. So we know of Tencent, the stuff that they love doing.
Who?
Tencent.
Who?
You know, the developers. They did like they own PUBG and all that. They own most of China. You know, most of China's game. You know what I mean? Tencent. So Tencent,
they're like 90% of the world.
Yeah, basically. So what they've done now, there's this new tech they've got running out at the moment. I think it's only running in China at this stage, but it's currently. I'm guessing it's maybe mobile gaming because mobile gaming's really big. At the moment, like how big?
Gaming.
Well, yeah. So, but you know, Tencent basically owns majority of mobile gaming.
Games like.
Well, that's the thing. They got this new thing they're using for their games now. It's using facial recognition to stop children playing games at night.
That's handy.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the same time, it kind of is a bit like, at the sense, it breaches privacy to a degree. But if you're agreeing to those terms,
scan in your face, like it's fine.
But if you're agreeing to their terms and if you're going to agree to their terms, like you've agreed to their terms. But basically, it scans your face.
Enough, you take their phones off the kids when they go to fucking bed.
Which is a cool sense. Like some people have been like, this is a smart move, which is great. Some people are like, oh, privacy, my kids are taking photos. I'm like, well,
no.
be responsible. Be responsible. Either say no, don't allow them to play these games, or take the phones off your kids. Like, I can understand where they're coming from, and it's a good idea to stop people getting addicted to gaming at a young age.
I mean, I wouldn't call us addicted.
We're old enough to make the decision, though.
I'm at a stage now where I don't want to play a game unless I feel like it.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many games
I don't play unless it's on night time, really, now. Like, it's crazy.
Well, exactly it. I only do nighttime gaming now.
Well, I do daytime, so if I get bored, I'll be like, I'll play some of this. I'll play some of that.
So, I know, it's
I can have a full day session easy still, but...
Oh, yeah. But you gotta really feel up to it.
Not feel up to it, but you've just got to dedicate that time. You've got to sit down and say, I'm doing this. You don't just jump into it and just say, what was I doing?
Yeah.
Like, you know how it is. Like you said, see a Thieves. You got to plan that.
You gotta actually put the hours in.
That's why I don't want to play Destiny, because Lance is like, hey, you can't play Destiny.
And that's the other thing too. Like, those games take up time. Like, if I was to get back into Destiny, I would have to start fresh. I feel because it's been so long since I played.
Because I told him I'm playing Soulstorm, Far Cry's, Eternal. I got time for fucking 100 hours of Destiny.
That's why I stopped playing Destiny, because it requires too much, and then you got to pay for all the DLCs, and I'm like, I can't be bothered anymore.
The DLC boosts you up. You know, you can skip all the previous things.
But at the same time, what's the... Well, that's I guess you too. Like, if you're new, you can boost yourself up, and then what's the point of playing some of their stories? Like, you're missing out on a lot of the content. Like, yeah, you're just like, oh, I missed out on half the book. DLC. It's like buying a book. It's like, oh, I'm going to buy this book. It's like, oh, you know, I paid the $20 or $30 to buy this book, but it's just like, you know what, all I want is the last...
the last chapter.
It's like, I'm just going to read the last chapter. It's like, what's the point of buying the book then? You could just store it at the bookstore, read the last chapter, and not pay a cent.
Destiny's free, so...
Yeah, well, that's free, but then all the content itself is payable.
Yeah, you just buy the last DLC that came out, and you get everything before it, and it levels you up there. So I'm like, do I need to get it now? Can I just wait till the final DLC?
I reckon those type of games, though, should be free-to-play games for the base content, and then you pay for the premium access for the... Which now it is. But you think about when you first got it, you had to pay the $70 for the game, and then pay...
because of Activision. They wanted you to pay and then pay for everything else as well. Like, because Bungie said, like, some of their devs said, they wanted it free to play. Like, they said when they left, when they left Activision, that is the game they want now.
Yeah.
Which is free to play. You've just got to buy the expansions at the price they set. Not what that, because I think they're like $20 an expansion now, which is fucking cheap, really. Yeah.
Which makes more sense for that type of genre of game. Like, that's like almost like World of Warcraft genre. Because
you got $20 for a whole game. Like, come on, like how cheap is that?
Destiny was meant to be like a sci-fi, like a completely different genre, but it's meant to be kind of like
a Halo sequel, kind of like it's.
Well, not Halo, but the idea.
Like a Halo, they've advanced from Halo to this.
Well, they technically, yeah. Well,
I reckon if they were still on Halo, that's how it would be. Like Destiny.
Well, I think that's where I feel like the new Halo is kind of going down that track, almost that genre of gameplay. So,
only Bungie can do it. Like, no offense on 343, but the Halo games are shit.
But that's why I think this is a bit turnaround.
4 and 5 are trash.
But what I was going to say was
did they do 4? Yeah, they did.
Not with the price bracket of how World of Warcraft does it, but that's what Destiny was trying to be, a shooter, kind of
a looter shooter.
Looter shooter, like like an RPG, and it's kind of an RPG. It's getting a bit RPG now.
Halo on steroids,
but
it's you've got a lot more to do.
Yeah, well, like their counterpart it was meant to be a game that you continuously played like you would World of Warcraft. You go do raid, like that's why it has raids. You have your different missions, your raid stuff.
Going DLC.
Yeah, and that's what they were aiming for, and that's why I think Destiny 2 is lingering a little bit longer, because that's what they're going for, and they've got it at that point now where they wanted Destiny to be at.
Upgrade, though? When are we getting like the proper release, or is it just that now?
It's just that, I think.
Because you saw it before, and you said it looked fucking beautiful.
Yeah, well, that was on the Series X, I think he was playing on. It looked great. It looked
I want to get it for PC, but so many hours.
Oh, well, it's not just that. You get it for PC, like the file size is gonna be massive.
Only like 100 gig. I've got a 10 terabyte fucking.
And I've got to try and install everything on my external, because I got one of those big suckers, those desktop hard drive external drive things you were talking about.
Big fucking brick things.
Yeah, you got to plug the power in and everything. Desktop external drive. I've got to try and install stuff to that, because I'm running out of space on my main setup. And I'm like,
I need easy. Is it a USB plug-in?
Yeah.
Just make sure you know what the name is on the computer app.
Because I'm installing too many games to the main drive, and I need to start installing them onto the external.
That's what I did. My main SSD is only 500 gig.
Yeah.
I've only got I feel 200 gig just with a couple of games.
So I've got to start. Yeah. Oh, I bought Siege as well, by the way.
Is that crossplay yet? I think it is.
I think it is, but yeah, because it was Rainbow Six Siege. It was a bundle. I paid $20, like just over $20. It was like $21. It came with Vegas 1, Vegas 2, Rainbow Six 3.
What was this on Steam?
Yeah, it was on the Steam sale they had recently. It was $21. It was. I don't know if it's still up anymore, but it was Vegas 2.
Order it now.
Rainbow Six 3. It was like 5 or 6 games for $20.
Oh, the sale's gone.
Yeah, that ended on the 9th. It was a good sale. I spent like $50 the other day because I bought 2 Point, Sims 4, Thief Simulator, and then that bundle.
$30. Fuck.
Because itself, yeah, because it was like $11.98, and I saw the bundle. I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy the bundle for $20. Like, that's a bargain.
And I got Siege for 14. No, yeah, 14 or 19? 14, I think.
But that's what I'm going to install, and it's fair size. I was like, ugh, so I'm going to install that to that external drive. I'll try and install all the other things too.
I get the 16 operators as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't worry about that, but...
I can't believe that. $14 for the PS5 version of Siege.
Mm.
How much that I was stupid for getting that? Like, how is that stupid?
It's cheap. It's cheap.
$14 brand new for... Comes with the expansion pass 1 and 2. Like,
Yeah, that's cheap. That's bargain.
right?
We'll go through these other things too before we keep going on.
I've got
getting
Siege on PS4. I could have just back compatted it, but...
we'll keep...
I don't trust back compat.
Yeah. Keep trucking on. So we haven't mentioned it yet, have we, on the potty? The new OLED Switch drops at $539. So
what?
$539 for the OLED. 7-inch.
Hands in the fucking screen.
7-inch. 7-inch screen. It's now 64 gig hard drive though, instead of the 32.
Yeah, they've doubled it. I know that, but I got an eyebrow there.
But yeah, it's just an OLED, which is like okay, but it's like gone up $100.
I traded in my Switch for it though.
Yeah, gone up $100.
Because I want the bigger screen, really. Because if I want to travel with it, no offense.
Well, it's white as well. It's nice and sleek. I think it's more square.
White and black. No, it's rectangle.
It's all the same size. No difference. It's just
7-inch. How big is this one then?
I think 7-inch.
4? 7?
No, the normal one's 7-inch.
Sure.
Yeah. Cause maybe 6-inch. Maybe it isn't. No.
This fucking thing.
No, still. Yeah.
This. You sure?
Yeah.
My hand's bigger than the fucking screen.
Well, my phone is a 6-inch, and then the screen itself is a little bit bigger.
Oh yeah, my Note 9's probably the same size.
Yeah. Boo-boos!
It is legit pretty much the exact same size of the fucking...
Yeah.
That's small. So the bigger screen might be handy, I guess.
It's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit bigger.
It's a bit taller, I think. Like it comes out.
I think the Joy-Con's still the thing. I think what the thing is with the screen now is, you know how you got the black, so
it's no, it wouldn't be. No, that's not an inch. That's a bit less than an inch.
See how you've got the blacking where it's like no screen.
It's got that on the new one though.
I think it comes closer, like more closer to these edges, so it's a little bit longer. It's because not as deep as that. From I think when I saw the photo, it's not as deep as that is there. Because see how much space there is.
A lot of black edging, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looked a little bit more sleeker. Like it looked a little bit more thin lined. Like it's still there.
Because the dock looks bigger too.
They've upgraded the dock, so I don't know. Unless it's Joy-Cons are different, everything's different.
It has a LAN port now.
Yeah. Because they realised.
And they said you can use that dock on these, so you can just buy the dock for the LAN port.
Yep. It's not too bad.
They have to fix the fucking. This is no shit. The stuff they've got in there, that scratches the fuck out of your damn screen if you haven't got a protector.
I think they put thing on it now.
That is.
It looked a lot larger as well. That gap as well looked a lot larger. It's a little bit thicker.
Yeah, it just fits. Look, that's the width of my finger.
And it just narrowly fits in. Stop fingering your thing. Jim's fingering, playing with himself.
Oh. Yeah, you gotta
open the flap. Don't jam your fingers in there.
I don't get how they've done this, because on here you got the AC, USB, HDMI. If there's a LAN port, where's the rest of the three?
Well, they've changed the whole thing. It's a whole different shape. Well, it's still the same shape, but it's bulkier, I think.
They better have the USB not in there, but on the outside like these two. Like have a 3, maybe.
Yeah.
Because having it in there makes no fucking sense. Because if you've got a control plugged in there, you yank on it, that sucker's coming flying out with it.
That's why they make the cables.
Just like you're facing it that way, your cord comes round the back at the side. You yank, wink.
That's why the wired cables, the cables from are so friggin' long, so you don't have yankage.
Doesn't matter if a person walks past and their foot gets caught. That's
because all the cable, like I bought a controller. The cable for that's like a 3-meter long cable.
Doesn't matter. You can have a dog just run through it and it'll just yank it.
Why have you got your dog running around? Oh.
He doesn't look for cables. He just runs. Cats do it. Kids do it. As you know, Jack would have probably just probably yanked a few cords out of your console. Nintendo, wireless, these suckers. Microsoft,
Well,
Put rechargeable
they
batteries
do
in
have
your
wireless,
fucking
but
controllers.
yeah, that's exactly it. That's yeah.
No shit. I prefer to replace a controller than batteries.
I know, buy you battery packs and fuck around.
Man, their battery packs, they break. You're still going to pay
The
30,
80
40
bucks.
bucks for a decent one.
You still pay like the 80 bucks for the controller either way, and then you got to buy the batteries on top of it. It's more expensive for an Xbox controller than it is for a PlayStation.
Considering the dual sensors are over $100 now, 109.
And they got built-in batteries.
USB-C built in.
I don't know. But yeah, so that's...
They need to take stuff... Microsoft and Nintendo. Look at why Sony's doing it. People love their controllers because they're easy.
Oh, yeah. What's
And also, I almost dropped it.
Don't drop it.
It's going to be a heart attack. I was like, whoa. I was like, fuck. I almost dropped my damn Switch.
I
I lost this for 4 months because...
Huh?
The person I was seeing at the time took it.
Oh,
I couldn't
wow.
get it back. No, they didn't take it. I lent it, and then I'd come back home, and then I didn't go up there for like 3-4 months.
Oh, God.
My Switch was up there
Yeah.
for so long. I'm like, I'll play Switch.
And you're like, where is it? And you realise, oh, I've left it here.
I had to literally call up and say, I'm driving through your town. Come and get my Switch back. It took a few months after that.
Oh, God.
Probably took a whole year.
Yeah. Here's an incoming message. Incoming message. There's no message. Mark Collingosson. Apparently, words go around that Ubisoft is making a live service Assassin's Creed game called Infinity. Well, it's apparently so. Not even like that. It's just a live service in general. Like it's just an active.
But it's an ever-changing world. Like
Fortnite, Destiny, stuff like that.
I'm like, it will work if they do it right.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds kind of cool, but
don't do it like Destiny and Fortnite. Do their own thing, but make it so people will want to play it. Not play it for a week and then drop it.
That's exactly. You want to be concurrent living.
Constant updates every month.
But yeah.
If you can probably fortnightly, give them like a new mission or something. Don't give it a battle pass.
They'll have a battle pass either way.
Like Assassin's Creed.
But what they already what'd be cool about is to see what kind of like worlds and times that they go through. Well, not worlds. Maybe they might do worlds. What kind of timelines?
They're not stopping their every couple of years Assassin's Creed because the next one's in China, I think.
Well, that's what I mean. It'd be interesting to see where this live service game, like what timelines it takes you to, and whose stories they're going to tell, or what you.
Something different than the actual games, though. Like, give us something new. If they're giving us a single player, like a single player esque game that's multiplayer, no.
It's gonna be no. Well, the live service will be a straight up multiplayer game. It's gonna be multiplayer 100%.
Something fresh. Don't.
I'm just curious to see what they'll do with it, like where it will go.
Shit.
But that's the thing that's coming. So that's been confirmed now.
When is that coming though?
No idea, but it's been confirmed now. They actually announced that. Yeah, they actually
leaked, was it?
doing it.
Confirmed.
Yeah. There was Sony State of Play. If you saw that, the last couple of days, not much really came out of it.
I saw things.
Basically, there's just a few new announcements, stuff that was already been announced that we knew. They just showed more gameplay of, like they had a longer extension clip of the death loop. They showed more of that gameplay.
Oh yeah, 9 minutes.
They just showed another. Yeah, it wasn't typical. They showed a few new.
Apparently, people want it more now because of that trailer.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like
it explains more what's going on. So you've got to kill the 7 people in 24 hours, but
which is interesting.
apparently it's hard because they're all spread out over the fucking island.
Yeah. You pick up. It's more about time. I think it's like time trial gameplay because you pick up your speed more and more and more. You learn.
Like Groundhog Day kind of thing.
What was it? They've
it comes out what, September?
Something like that. They showed more of Death Stranding's director's cut. They showed a little bit more, a few things with that again. Announced a few
new shit with that.
Yeah. A lot of new
That's
shit.
a worthwhile director's cut.
I'm like,
Icky Island.
now I'm like, well, I got Death Stranding. I barely played it. Now I'm gonna like, well, fuck that. I'm not even gonna bother finish playing that. I'm gonna get the director's cut instead eventually and play that instead.
Because it's got better melee. It's got more options now. It's got more story
Yeah,
missions.
there's so much more. Like, there's like the car racing tracks and stuff like that.
Yeah, the fuck it was at the
Classic race or something. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the tracks.
I can't. Fragile races or something. Fragile racing.
Friggle.
No,
Might be Fragile. Was it Fragile?
It's the lady. Fragile. Yeah.
Oh, yep.
I'm gonna hold my Mario shirt.
Oh no, but
Legit have a little fucking hole right there.
oh, so tiny. But no, which I thought was cool. There's so much content. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna not even play what I've got now and just be done with that and just get that stuff.
I was gonna play it, but then director's cut. I looked at all the content and went, I'm waiting.
Yep, I'm just gonna wait.
It comes out August or September again. Like
something
everything's
like that.
coming out so late in the year.
Well, it makes sense. Holiday period.
We got the medium. We got maybe Horizon, Deathloop, Stray. What's the other one? Fucking Ghost of Tsushima director's cut coming out next month. Oh, in the next fucking 3 months, we got like 10 games nearly.
Yeah, there's so much.
I'm gonna be broke again.
Well, you got the next thing you got coming is Lost Judgment as well to play.
I finished the first one.
Yeah, you're going through those.
I forgot about that game. Thanks,
yeah,
Taz.
Lost Judgment was announced the state of play. There was Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles, which looked pretty cool because Demon Slayer is pretty good big anime, so a lot of people love that. Yeah. So the game looked pretty cool as well.
It looks decent. Like it looks like just a classic like a Final Fantasy.
Basically, yeah. There's Jet. That I think was kind of similar.
Trash. There's no combat. There's nothing. It's just you flying a little jet.
Yeah.
That's the whole game. It's like you just flying a jet. That's it.
So yeah, very basic was Jet like with some story stuff. Sifu, that's been pushed to 2022, I think.
Early 2022.
Yeah, because
that game looked good.
Another battle royale dropping with Hunters Arena Legends, which honestly battle royales do need to stop.
I mean, that has its own thing with it, though, mate. It sounds interesting. I guess we'll find out when it releases.
But in general, like, I think we just need to be done with Battle Royale games. I don't want to keep making more Battle Royale games. There's plenty of them out there now.
Only like 30 or 40 person, though. It's not 100, so... It's only a small scale. But it's all melee combat, which is pretty cool.
There's been a few... Well, I saw a lot of the play for Hunters Arena Legends. Like, what the hell is this? And then it looked kind of like... It kind of reminded me of... what's that other one I've been playing? Where is it? It was on my Steam. I'm trying to remember what it was. Naraka.
That's what I thought it was.
That's what I thought it was as well. Oh god, my mouse is on the screen. What?
What about that? Arcade-ageddon?
Arcade-ageddon was... Well, that was funny. They showed it at the Sony State of Play, but you can get it. It's a free-to-play game, and it's up on Epic at the moment.
It's not free-to-play.
Yeah.
It's $30.
No, it's free to download.
It's early access. Oh, it must be free on Epic then.
Yeah, it's free on Epic because it was free.
On Steam, it's $30. On PlayStation, it's $30.
Yeah, I think it was coming up Epic free. So.
I was like, I'm surprised. PlayStation have an early access game.
Yeah.
That's fucking rare.
Another one was
Ark early access on Xbox. PlayStation didn't have it till it fully released. Because they don't trust early access, but yet that game's on there. It looks fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I was curious about. Like, this is interesting, different.
It's an ever-evolving game. Like I don't know what happens, but it's ever-evolving. It says so.
It's not the same because it's never the same. I don't think. I think it's kind of a little bit. I think it's almost roguelike a little bit. I think I'm not too sure.
But a whole game. Though,
well, I was thinking of downloading it on Epic because it was free. So I was like, oh, well, I might give it a go.
Play it see if you like it. Get it on console. Steam,
that's not. Oh, so there's Tribes of Midgard looked interesting.
It looks too
childish.
I don't like. Hey,
what were we gonna say? Not too cartoony.
No, it looks too strategic, like just point and click kind of thing.
Yeah,
like, it looks like kind of like XCOM kind of stuff. I'm like, I want to see proper gameplay, not just trailers.
Yeah.
It comes out like this month, at end of the month.
Something.
So I'm like, I want to see more before I buy it.
Yeah, I guess like there were some games, or at least have a demo, put more demos out.
Yeah, demos would be. Remember the day demos on PS1?
Well, they're supposed to be looking at
discs?
like other places starting to do more demos again. They're apparently trying to get demos back out in the world again, like making a
Well,
thing
I had
again.
that Severed Steel demo. Like that was good. That's got me hyped to play Severed Steel. Like you saw it, didn't you?
Mm. Looks pretty good.
I had like people wanting that now after the stream I did.
I gotta play it. I gotta
Like,
play
what was
it
that
myself.
game? Like Severed Steel. They're like, okay, thanks.
And the other announcement, I actually read the list backwards
Man.
basically, and the other one was Moss Book 2. So I've got Moss.
I haven't played it. I've got it. I haven't played
It was
it.
one of
You need
the
VR for
free play games. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's only free because it was with the
Days of
Blast Collection.
Plague
No,
plus whatever.
it
Days of
was
Plague?
one of the free games you downloaded,
Yeah.
like Horizon and that.
And people are confused at the moment as well as there's not much cyberpunk news, but there's a thing that they're pushing at the moment where is advertising a new update. Someone's headline was Cyberpunk 2077 is advertising a new update that doesn't seem to exist. So basically, they're just advertising what's been updated recently, kind of I guess more of a refresh reminder that hey, the updates are out there, but people are getting confused where the people that are still been up to date with Cyberpunk and playing it are confusing that there's new content coming or it should be coming or it should be out, but it's not out. But
It should be out.
But I
in
think
June.
yeah. So, but there's been a lot of the updates anyway. They have been updating. They had the current updates technically, so they have done a lot of the stuff. So I don't know whether it's meant to be because it's meant to be an update announcement for people that haven't kept track of it, and it's been a post to say, hey, like there is new content, like it is available. So for those
There's
that
no new
haven't followed it,
content,
but
it's just updates and patches. That's all it is. That's all it is.
that's exactly it. So
Because the
I don't
content
know.
got postponed because they haven't finished the game yet, and then they're doing that later.
Yeah, so there's all this
I'm
stuff going
pissed
on.
because I want to finish it. I want new content.
That's free DLC. That's which
I
is
want to
bringing.
continue the fucking story.
Well, we've done Cyberpunk. We finished it.
Yeah, but there's more with it. Apparently, there's more story content. So
That'll be later. I knew it was going to be later. They
how do
weren't
they
going to do
pick
it
an
so
ending
soon.
though? Like, how's it gonna work?
I don't know. We'll see
I
how it
did all
goes.
fucking 4 endings or 3 endings, and
I don't know. But they've got the next gen version as well of The Witcher 3 coming.
Is that just an update though, or is that a physical release? I hope it's fucking physical.
Apparently, I think it's going to be a physical release. So a proper physical version for next gen.
It's not going to beat my PS4 one though, because that came in a little sleeve with a map and.
Yeah, well, apparently they want a whole.
Do that as well.
I don't know what they're doing.
They
Most
have
people will
to
do the same thing.
some favors, like they have to make that better than.
Well,
last
that's the other
gen.
thing too. That not much at this stage of what they announced with that, but the article I was looking into for some research was that because we've also got the new season starting at the end of the year, in December, we've got season 2 starting on Netflix, of The Witcher. But they're also bringing
It's
being.
tied in, isn't it?
I don't know what they're doing, but the big being that's the next gen version, they're giving out free content or free DLC at this stage. As what they've only announced.
Pardon?
I'll say what they've only announced so far is the free DLC. There's supposed to be a bunch of free DLC they're giving with the next gen version to make it more incentive.
Yeah, it's probably the last ones they had.
But one of the things,
season.
well, one of the things they've announced so far, they announced this free DLC so far. One of them is Henry Cavill's suit from the show. So that's only the. Hey.
I thought I saw him on the fucking PlayStation because I saw Cavill and Geralt going like this with swords.
Yeah, and that's what that might have been the thing that they were teasing. So at this stage,
It was
that's
an in-game Cavill, like it looked like it was
yeah.
in the game. Like, nah.
Well, that's one of the things they've announced so far. Is one of the free DLCs is I don't know if it's his suit or if it's actually
he's
for him.
canon now with Witcher.
Not well, it doesn't have to be just because it's a suit.
Like he's in the game, man. You can play as Henry Cavill.
Yeah, well, they do that. They've done that with many games, and it's never been fully canon. It's just a skin variant.
This must be.
So it doesn't have to be, because from what I know of how it's been, the show is based more off the books and the game.
Yeah, but then why add him into the thing though?
Just because it's relevant. Like they've done that before with many
They
characters
better
and
have
stuff.
Cavill voicing that skin too. Like have the
That'd be
whole
funny.
voice lines. I mean, fucking dope.
No,
It's got the same voice though as the game.
that's why they went with it too, the build and
It's
the
not
voice.
it's not as deep, but it's there.
Um,
It's not as hey, like
So that's very interesting as well. At least they're giving more, like giving something exclusive to next gen versions. They're not just being like, oh, anyone can get this. Like they're making exclusive next gen. Like it's not much, but it's something to be like, oh, look, if you've got this, you've definitely had to.
It's releasing later this year, isn't it?
So it's exclusive for next gen users only. So
if they've made that 4K 60 in that time, that's fucking good.
That's especially
what big game.
That's especially what they've been working on the side with Cyberpunk is doing this. That's why they had that division set up.
Why do that if Cyberpunk was in that shape? Wouldn't you put everyone on Cyberpunk?
I don't know what the go is.
And then save The Witcher for after that.
You think?
Unless but they're big enough to do that though. Like they're a big team. They got 400 odd people or something. So I don't fucking know what went wrong. I don't care.
So
we played it. I thought it was okay. The Cyberpunk. I'll give it a 7, easy.
Yeah, definitely a 7.
I don't praise it as a fucking pedestal, like on a shrine here.
Nothing amazing. It's a good game. Like it's good story. It's like it's decent, but like nothing amazing. Like it's not like oh my god.
Nothingness in that game. Like I was just driving around, just like.
There's a lot of empty moments. Yeah. Still good, but like definitely some empty moments.
Apparently go in every building and shit back in the day.
So I don't know. It's interesting.
Like all the open area was apparently you could do stuff. Like in the deserts but there's nothing.
Well, that's what I mean. It does feel like there should have been stuff there. Like there's areas that you go to once off in a mission that you feel like there's a lot that could have been happening in
a side mission or a little story.
Yeah,
thing. It's nothing. It's
like there's a legit area. Like exactly, there's a legit area where you go to for one mission that has this whole section, and that's all that's out there. It's just this one mission. It feels like why have all this space? Like this feel like there should have been more missions and more story and more things to do out there. But it's just like
I remember going to the junk pile once for that. For Johnny, I think.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all it was used for. Was where V came from when he got shot. Then you go back there once.
Oh, there's that side mission where you find the car as well, get your car back. But like, there's it's just a vast junk land. It's like, what the hell? It's vast of junk. Like, you could have had more out there. Like, had this junk rat mission or. There's so much you could do.
There's a lot of fucking desert there.
There's so many things. I remember that whole junk pile where everything gets dumped. I remember flooring it out there one day with one of the cars and just driving across everything. You get it going and it's like, you just drive across all the garbage. You're like, it's so fun.
It's fucking massive out there. Like,
that's what I'm saying. There's so much space. There's they could have had missions out there. Like plenty of things to do out there.
There had people out there at least had NPCs walking around.
But it's like you go out to the area and there's like only that one area where there's that one little where you get your car back. There's only that one little building there, and that's all there is basically. It's like.
I didn't even get that because I didn't go that story path. My car was I had it from the friggin' start.
Yeah, I got my original car back from Alana. Give me back my car.
Mission, so I didn't go out there for that. I just got out there for the Johnny mission.
Told her to fuck off. I told her to fuck off. Gave her $100 and got my car back. So.
Is that what was it? That was Street Kid.
I went Nomad. Nomad and.
I went Street Kid.
Nomad and something else. Nomad and yeah.
I think I went Street Kid. Did I?
It's only if you do that other one. It's only through Nomad you get it. That's right.
Yeah, because I went
Street Kid or Corporal Street Kid. You don't get the car in anyway, so you don't have that same car. It's different.
No, it's the same, isn't it?
Little red car.
Little red car.
Yeah, the little red car.
I got mine from Jackie.
He gives you a different vehicle.
Yeah, I tried to steal. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, no, different.
Rest in peace.
They did him dirty.
I thought he was a main character. I thought he was a man.
That's one of the biggest things that people complain about is they did Jackie dirty.
No, not really.
So, because everyone expected.
Joel, you don't. Just because someone died doesn't mean you got to shit on the game.
No, they don't shit on the game. Everyone just says that they did him dirty. Like he had so much more potential. Like he could have done so much more.
They gave him a couple hours, easy. He went out good. Like he.
Yeah, it was a good ending. So, there's apparently rumors that they could do DLC because of where you assume he looks like he's dead. He gets carried on and stuff that they could do with it says talks and they could do more with that and bring him back where he gets ripped and bring him back.
But he died. He did on your fucking back seat.
Well, did he?
Well, yeah, because he wasn't breathing.
So there's all the kinds of things they can do. Cause
I mean, he took the chip out of his head, put in V's, and V was stuck with. Like he should have been stuck with it, really.
So I don't have much else, but there's this one little thing I was reading over in an article when I was just browsing the internet.
In with the fucking DLC, like if you're still there doing shit.
Maybe. This one's interesting. I wanted to go over because I came across it and I was like, oh, this is an interesting read. It's kind of a big bit of a rude one here. There's a lot of shady shit that goes on. So this is Amazon. So if you wanted to work as a game developer basically and run through Amazon, there's some weird rules. There's some really weird rules.
And games don't even release.
So for one, I'd say don't even work with Amazon. So there's
because their games failed. Like their game they went and put out was
just Amazon as a service. It's just apparently for making games with. It's just
they haven't done it for years. They've only just started doing it. They've got to learn. They've got to.
Well, there's a lot that goes into it. I'll tell you now because there's a guy here. There's an article. This dude, who worked with one company. He works at a different company now, but he wanted to get in working with Amazon to get he wanted to start making getting a game developed, get it published through a service. And basically, I'll go through more into it. But basically, is Amazon wants you to work on your games in your own time, so they don't have to pay you for anything. But then if you're to put it on the service, they want to reap the rewards from it.
Are you getting nothing?
Yeah, it's fucked. So I'll go into it. So
you got to work on your time for them to get money.
So basically, there's 8 rules.
You work for free for them to make millions.
Yeah. So there's 8 rules.
Well, probably not millions.
Or for this contract, there's 8 rules. The first 4 make sense. So I'll go through the whole thing. I'll read it out. So to develop or release a personal game, you must read and agree to the following terms prior to beginning.
Personal game.
Yeah. So that's if you were to be an upcoming developer, indie developer. Makes sense
if it's personal. It should be on your own time, like.
Well, it's if you were to become an indie developer, that's how it starts off. How else are you going to make a game?
How it works for everyone else.
You have to start off. You start. It starts off like that.
It's not just them. It's everyone who's doing their own project. They do that.
Yeah, exactly. They have to be personal, but this is the agreement.
It's picks them up.
It's that's the thing. Amazon's the distributor and publisher. That's the point. Like you work with them and they publish it for you, basically. But it gets whacked. So agree to the following terms prior to beginning any work or continuing any unapproved work by submitting the trouble ticket linked below. You agree to each of the following terms. So the first 4 make sense. So the first 4 points is 1. My personal game will not be based on, conflict with, or disclose Amazon confidential information or current or future business activities. Understandable. I will not use or incorporate Amazon resources or information in the development, release, or marketing of my personal game. This includes Amazon equipment, network connections, confidential information, know-how, or facilities. 3.
Anyway.
No, these are basic things. Exactly it. So these are the first 4 make general sense.
All companies.
That's exactly it. So the first 4 make general sense for the rulings. It gets worse. So all work on my personal game will be performed outside of my regular work hours.
That is pretty much what indies do because they usually have jobs to fund themselves.
Amazon is not responsible for any legal obligations or liabilities arising from my personal game. So they're generally they're the general standards for any kind of employment contract. Like they're general.
90% everyone.
It's when you get into the 5th and 6th points, it gets weird. So the 5th one is to help Amazon improve its platforms. I will make my personal game available via Amazon wherever possible. Example, if it's mobile, I will submit it to the Amazon App Store. If it's PC game made available for sale, I will submit it for sale on the Amazon platform and provide feedback on these platforms where practicable. The extent to which Amazon distributes my personal game through its platforms remains within Amazon's sole discretion. So
it makes sense.
It gets there. 6. To help Amazon improve its products and services, I will use Amazon's publicly available products and services in the development and release of my personal game wherever possible. If I'm running a service in the cloud as part of my personal game, I'll use AWS. If I am using an identity broker for my personal game, I'll use Amazon's Cognito, etc. And provide feedback on these products and services where practicable. I'm responsible for the fees associated with the use of these products and services. So you got to pay, of course, pay to create these things yourself. That I guess again, it's your personal game.
You have to when you're an indie developer.
So
what's new here?
So it's that. So was it here? Amazon mandate
first time dev.
So Amazon mandates that you will use Amazon Web Services, the Amazon Web Store, or any of its services if you publish a game on your own time. Even if you work on it entirely on your own time free. So you still got to publish it, like, I guess, yeah, it's their services. How you're going to get it out there, you got to put it on their services.
Yeah.
That's they said this is a little unusual. 7 is where things take it. Somewhere in this article here is where things get bad to worse. Developing the game while working at Amazon means that you will have to grant the company a royalty-free, worldwide, fully paid up, perpetual, transferably licensed to any and all of my intellectual property rights associated with the personal game. So where is it here? I will own my 7. I will own my personal game. However, Amazon will not be constrained in its development of games or incur any liabilities by allowing me to develop and release personal games accordingly. I hereby grant the following license to Amazon to ensure that Amazon will never be liable to me for any Amazon work on games. I grant to Amazon a royalty-free, worldwide, free, paid-up, perpetual, transferable license to any of all of my intellectual property rights associated with personal game and my personal. So basically, you're agreeing to give up all ownership of the game to put it up on that platform, and they will not pay you a single cent for it. So that you're happily legally able to make the game, but you upload that at no cost. It's all at your own cost, and they'll take it.
That's most indies though. Like they make fuck all from like sales.
Yeah, and then
unless they get bought by a company and then they get a salary from them. Like
and that's what I mean. And was it finally?
It's just common sense. Like,
and that's why it's kind of good when it comes to look at things like where Bethesda and the Microsoft partnership works out great, is because they're allowing more people to upload things to a service. You know it's going to be at a cut cost straight from the get. I guess at the same time, like you know what you're getting yourself into because they're not trying to
put indies on Game Pass. So fuck that. Like you getting shit all from them.
Well, that's what the whole point of it is. That's like a lot of them trying to team up for is to get a lot of the indie games.
If you're an indie developer, it's cheaper for you just to do Steam because you just upload it to Steam and that's it.
Yeah, but there are you got to pay prices to put games up sometime.
Yeah, but it's better on Steam because you can put anything on fucking Steam, anything.
Within reason.
People buy it. Like, people play it.
We've
played Lust and shit. That could not be on console, but I think it is coming on console.
And this is the other weird part here. This is one of the weirdest weird parts though. So
weirdest weird.
I won't even read the point because it describes it clearly. So we come to the piece de resistance is what the article goes. With the 8th and final point, anyone making a personal game at Amazon is only permitted to work on it with Amazon employees. That's
a bit stupid.
So you can't work with anyone else. So what's the agreement?
If you get outside help from a big company, like that's handy. The Amazon employees have nothing to do with games in the fucking first place.
So this agreement provides me with an opportunity for personal development and creative expressions and not a means for competing. So here you go. This agreement provides me with an opportunity for personal development and creative expression and not a means for competing with Amazon Game Studio or operating a meaningful commercial endeavor. Like, they're like basically saying it's like if you're looking at making stuff on here, it's only like you can't compete with us kind of thing. It's like what the fuck? Like everyone needs to start something to grow and then become their own thing. Like you need to.
I mean makes sense because Sony do it. Like you're with Sony, you got to compete against Microsoft, Nintendo.
So
PC.
as such, under this agreement, I may collaborate. I may collaborate with personal games only with other Amazon employees who are eligible under this policy and who have accepted the terms of this agreement, or with a minor dependents in my household. I will not work on personal games with anyone else.
What? Speaking of PC games, Daz.
So it's really weird.
Did you know who Sony recently acquired other than Housemarque?
Who?
Nixes.
Nixes.
Nixes. They're a PC port.
Oh, yeah?
They make PC ports.
Yep.
So you know what that's going to mean?
Make more. It helps get more out there.
They make the best, like world's best PC port. So they've just bought them, so no one else can pretty much port them really without going through Sony.
I mean, well, you look at Sony porting out a lot of games, so too at the same time they need more ports getting in there.
It's only all last gen, like PS4 games.
It makes it easier to put the back burner off some of the other companies that are porting games.
They're going to try and mold them into their own first party as well, like have their own PC app, like what Epic is. Maybe Sony on PC is PlayStation themselves.
Well, that could be it too. Yeah, actually have their own storefront.
It makes sense because they're still making the profit. 100% of it
direct to them,
even though
not
it's on PC.
yeah,
It's
not going through
Steam
yeah.
or Epic.
Mm.
Which means
Good
Days
work.
Gone, get on Steam while you can, and Horizon, because I'm guessing they're making their own platform.
That could be a thing. So
Means you can have digital games on here, play on here like Xbox, which would be fucking dope.
But so
have trophies on here.
So it's interesting to see that, like, if you're making a game for Amazon with the agreement basically saying if you're making a game with Amazon, it's basically up there for free and they can do whatever the hell they want. Basically, they can make the money from it.
Like,
you can't make any money.
You sign yes to it, like why not?
So that's why they've gone with a different developer, and they're a little bit. They're very similar, but there's more lenient and they get more of the credit for it, I guess.
Amazon
and they get more.
games have failed recently because they just don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They've got all kinds. Well, they don't even have Amazon. Like, it's just a store, really.
Oh, they've made games already.
Yeah, I don't even know what they made.
Isn't it Amazon Luna?
I don't even know what they've made.
I'm having a look. You keep doing your thing.
So I know. So that's most of my notes gone through there. But yeah, I don't know what they've made.
Amazon Luna. Here we go. Cloud gaming service. That's
it's
what
a cloud
it is.
service. Yeah.
They've got Control, Grid, Watch Dogs Legion.
Oh, another thing I looked into. Yeah, but that's not even their games though. They're just not even.
No, they got their games on there, but they failed.
Yeah, it's just a service. That's what I mean. It's just a service, not even actual. This is Amazon being an actual platform. Hey?
Oh no, you don't.
No.
You don't get it with Prime.
We got Amazon, just a normal Amazon. That's just another service.
Fucking Xbox.
So that's all that is though. That's just another gaming service. This is like actual Amazon, as a publisher making games. So I think there are some actual Amazon made games. I think that's why Netflix is trying to get into that market.
It's only $6 a month too. Like it's fucking cheap.
But
for a streaming service.
Well, remember the other episode, a couple of episodes back, we talked about Netflix looking at getting into gaming. Apparently they're looking into VR stuff as well now. So
also it's 1080 60 4K coming later.
It's just a service. 4K. It's just a service, streaming service. It's you've got an Amazon store anyway. You can get a whole bunch of games on it as it is. So
I just don't. No, that's a bad idea because if.
But then if you're gonna, what's the point of going through Amazon Luna for streaming stuff or anything like that when you can get a game on Epic or a game on Steam? Like, why would you even go through Amazon Luna? Like, who gives a fuck about that?
PC or stuff.
Huh?
It's people who don't have a PC or a console. You just pay $6 a month to.
But then you got Xbox. You got Xbox Cloud. Like you can do an Xbox Cloud, and then PlayStation's looking at getting onto it too. So
you need Ultimate for that though. I think.
Same thing. It's at least it's with a reliable source. At least it was with a reliable source.
Yeah, that's only them games though. That has everything. Well, that has Valhalla and all on it. Luna's
supposed to have everything on it.
That has Valhalla.
But that's a different thing again. So. This is just streaming.
Apparently, though. I just don't need it because.
Well, that's what Stadia was. Stadia was supposed to be the same kind of concept.
Yeah, they way overpriced everything. It was all on. They just failed.
They actually made a system for it. They actually made at one point a physical system for that.
Yeah, but you saw what happened. For
streaming.
They said, "Oh, you can do 4K 60 and shit." No, it didn't.
Yeah, but it comes in again to internet.
It was well below 1080p. I remember.
Yeah, there's all kind of things. See, for us though, in Australia, shit like that doesn't work for us. This whole streaming gaming thing they're trying to go for doesn't work. Our net can't handle it.
Streaming uses fuck all. Like streaming in things uses fuck all.
Yeah, but streaming games themselves, it doesn't work because it's so much data that's going backwards and forth.
25. No, it said you need 12 meg, which everyone's got that at least 12.
They say 12 meg minimum, but it's so choppy. I've played games through streaming and it's fucking horrid.
Input lag, bro.
It's so bad. Oh, not even that. Not even input lag. Like I played on my phone.
Lag is bad if you stream.
I streamed on my mobile phone because that's how you stream it from the xCloud, and I was playing Ori and the Wisp, and it's like like it was general like server lag, and I was watching the thing, and it was like the reception was horrible, and I was playing on my mobile data myself.
Yeah.
Which is faster than my actual home data, like.
That's what people say streaming's the future. Yeah, in 20 fucking years.
Like, it's great in other places. People brag about it in, like, Europe and America where they've got massive internet plans, fast speeds. Like,
America, which has the...
Like...
I saw someone, they had 500 down. I'm like, what do you need with 500, man?
Yeah, we've only got, like, 100 down.
Less than that. I only run 60.
There's some people that have gigs down. Gigs.
Yeah, like the lady in Germany had, like, 40 gig down. Like, whoo!
Fuck off. Like, fuck me, that's so much speed. You could watch anything at 8K.
40 gig down and like a gig up or something. Like,
oh, imagine streaming. Oh, fucking
you get full 1080p 60.
Get everything going.
People love it.
It's horrendous. But
It
anyway.
is what it is. We do have that. We could do it. Our government's too shitty to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the NBN. Not everywhere's got that. I'll get that here. It's only just barely above what the standard is. Like, crazy.
It's just...
Like you said, my upload is trash. It's like 4 meg.
It's doo-doo. It's doo-doo.
4 and 10. On a good day, it's like 6, 7.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway.
It's good. The net's shocking.
Anyway, that's me for those notes that I've got. I don't think you got nothing. You haven't got any notes.
I got nothing. I just went with what you
That's
had.
it. Yeah, we just went with. Yeah, I know. I told you.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. I think we'll end it there for this week. I think.
Yeah.
2 hours is a nice, good run.
Really anything else I'll tweet about. Does convince it.
Yeah. Oh, we might have LOKI for next week as well. So yeah.
Oh, you done doing his meat tent? Oh, no, that was Juddy.
That was Juddy. Juddy was doing some meat.
I believe he said that.
Yeah, he goes. I'm like, oh, that's alright. If he's jumping into some meat tents, good on him. He's going to jump. I know. I need to put my jumper on. I need to warm up too.
He would have been buzzing.
Oh, mate. I need to warm up.
It'd be funny if Wookie comes in and just says it fucking ends like, hello. Oh.
No, he's at a party tonight apparently.
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah,
all right.
fucking drunk one. Boy,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah, why not? It's the weekend. If you can go for it.
Right, that's why. I mean, we can get smashed on your potty.
Yeah, I've had a few drinks.
I want to do a drunk once. Might be a bit weird, but
I'm at a nice level point now. I've been showering those down. I'm not even like,
You said drinking was like drink.
Thanks.
That UDL, it tastes like Fanta.
That's so bad.
It went down so quick. I was like,
Yep.
oh, it's gone.
Yep.
I was like, oh, sip. Oh, sip. Oh, sip. But I think we'll call it there then, Des.
Sounds good.
What episode is it? 28?
28.
Fuck, I'm good. Memory. But thank you, Beardies and Beardettes, for listening for number 28.
Yeah.
We have been Dale and Jim. And we'll catch you guys next week with more shenanigans and whatever else happens during the week. Catch you guys next week for number 29. Bye.
Oh, fuck. Bye. Oh, fuck. Shit. Oh, fuck me. Alright.
Your face like,
oh, god damn it.
you're gonna watch that back at the end. You're like you'll cry. Like,
Oh.
It's fucking weird. I was like, you right, Dad? You gotta say anything? You're like, you're doing like a Robert De Niro.
Oh, god.